Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Aries Sky Rita Lee's video blog. I'm Aries Sky, also known as Rita. That's my actual name, Rita. So I have a couple announcements for you all today. I will also answer any questions you may have in the comments. So last night when I was trying to get my chit chat thing going and etc., people have asked many things, and I was a little tired, and I read an article in the Post. Washington Post basically stated that Social Security, good morning, Nelfie. I just woke up a little bit ago. So basically what's going on is Social Security is, people that file for Social Security benefits that has a dependent under the age of 17 has to file by tomorrow at 12 p.m. I believe it's Eastern time. They didn't say if it was Eastern or Pacific or whatever. It just said 12 by 12 p.m. And otherwise, that is the deadline for you to collect your Social Security check for the dependent child, the extra $500 for your child. Otherwise, you got to file it for 2020 on your 2020 tax form. The other problem is the IRS came out today and tried to boondoggle people yet again. They were trying to hoodwink them. Basically, a lot of news agencies this morning, and I've cross-checked it. I believe Nelfie's been on top of it better than me this morning. I just woke up. Basically giving a payment date schedule of paper checks. But then they basically said in all these reports that direct express, direct deposit for the last payments are in limbo. They're just like, yeah, you'll get your money. We know it's May 1st, but now they're basically saying, yeah, they're going to get the money. And then half the time they're talking in this entire reports that I went through this morning, stating that basically that they're not even talking about the papers. They're like 80 million people got it, yada, 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 rest with paper checks, yada, yada, yada. And they didn't say about Direct Express, except for Direct Express people will get it. But they're just like, yeah. And now they're talking about checks going out on, this week's checks were mailed yesterday, and now it's coming in on the 24th. And it gives an entire pay all the way down the list, right? But people ask, when is our checks coming? We all know it's coming May 1st, but guess what? They're just like, oh, it's weird, Yes, we know it came from SSA. I'm talking about the media this morning, Nelfie. Look, I also handle the media part. So basically what I'm trying to say is the media, okay, they published an entire list of when checks are coming, paper checks. When people ask questions about the other 70 million people, quote unquote, and why their direct deposit isn't going in, they said, don't know why. So let's see. I was talking on I was waiting on you. I know it all. Oh, you're waiting for me. Well, the media is basically looking really bad right now, and the fact that literally, it looks really bad because now they're basically stating, other things. I had to literally go to look up the IRS portal this morning. It's like they modified it again where you can't find the information you need either. But, my main thing is I called Direct Express this morning. Not that it matters. Everyone knows it's empty. And we all know it's May 1st and May 3rd, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. But then the comments are coming out with the YouTube prophecy saying everyone's going to get their Direct Express payments on Friday the 24th. I just broke up laughing this morning. I did watch a couple articles through different channels this morning talking about the reason why they're not giving us the 70 million checks. Is one of the theories I put on the table was they ran out of money. That's now going around too through different newspaper, media outlets that's stating, that we are completely and thoroughly out of, we are close. They admitted they didn't send anything. Exactly. You see, Rick, that's the thing. This morning they admitted that they didn't send. They admitted that they sent 80 million checks, and then the extra 70 million. They're just like, eh. Literally, it was like, and as I've been saying, Rick, I think it's because either we get monthly benefits, so it doesn't really matter, or two is the taxpayers don't have any more money. They ran out of money, the government said they consider well, no, they're actually giving dates. It's May 1st to May 3rd. My problem is this morning, okay, is the news is, and this is my true problem with it is call me kind of not settled with this idea or skeptical or skittish, as you might call it, because Bun is, if you look at the big picture, what am I saying? I'm kind of panicked or paranoid on the grounds that, and I'm using those words wisely by saying, look, I don't literally trust the media coming out on a Tuesday, even though it was last night on the Post saying that if the $500 isn't claimed by Wednesday, then they got to wait till next year to claim it. And then they lose that extra money anyway. So the government sits and says, hey, look, we got extra money. But also it's upsetting me that the government keeps basically turning around and giving the wrong answers too. I mean, look, all we need to do is sit back with a little pina colada drink with a little umbrella with a little straw, a coconut drink thing, and be like, while waiting for our benefits. Whereas everyone else that has dependents, they got to jump through extra loopholes. And then they're talking about, again, in today's reports through certain channels, that the veterans, again, aren't going to get anything. I mean, we're basically at the precipice of basically the Titanic literally sinking, mind you, sorry. And what's happening? It's sinking. It's sinking to no end. And we as in people are suffering because we are hearing all these different things. And I, for one, I'm laughing. I'm literally laughing to no end because we're going to get paid. People are saying now deposits are going out on the 24th. That's when the first set of paper checks come in. They're talking about the IRS portal broken. I mean, all these things stacks up to, we already know it's May 1st or May 3rd, but no one's listening. That's the thing. No one's listening to me. No one's listening to our lovely sister Nelfie. All they're listening to is these prophecies throwing out the newest info. I mean, when will people learn to read through the fine lines through the reports? I mean, literally. I mean, I'm sorry to say, okay, I got a legitimate gripe on something else. Hello, Robert. Has anyone gone to the Social Security blog site? I went there this morning for an update that they had yesterday talking about how the IRS is going to close down the $500 thing so you can't claim it so they can start getting the rest of the checks sent out. But my legitimate two gripes is, A, that they're putting a deadline on children, Wednesday, 12 o'clock, that's tomorrow. And two is my legitimate gripe is, now they're speeding things up. However, my legitimate gripe is that if we have this happening, what happened to the secretary promising us that we would get our payments within 2 weeks, all of us? And by the 27th, it's going to be 4 weeks after the law signed. So, let's see. The people that I get it this week are SSI recipients that have their own bank. Yeah, exactly, right? So basically, like Nelfie said, people that have SSI, okay, if you were listening, anyone who has SSI, me and Nelfie's been talking about this last few days since we both confirmed by Social Security and Direct Express. Anyone who has a bank account will probably get their payments between tomorrow and the 24th. That means direct deposit for SSI recipients who filed a tax return, from what we understand. The non-filers still get their checks in early May. That's what the report said this morning. This is what the USA Today said. This is what the Washington Post said. I was looking at the subscription for trying to get a mail, not a mail, a delivery subscription. They said we don't deliver the newspaper on your island, but they have a little paper box. So I don't know, but okay. So the real Stony, me and Sister Nelfie has been saying your payments will go in. Your stimulus check will go in on your next pay date for benefits. So if your next benefit date is April 30th, you're going to get your payment April 30th, hypothetically. If it's May 1st, you get it May 1st. If it's May 3rd, you get your benefits on May 1st. Everyone knows it. People are living in the hope, okay? Everyone needs their money, but again, I do want to make a statement. I want Sister Nelfie to correct me if I'm wrong, because she's got as much information as I, if not more. I've combed through the media this morning, just like she has, to make sure we have all the information. But I'd like to ask Sister Nelfie a question. The reports I've read, okay, consider me, again, paranoid. Like I said, I have a little paranoia. Consider it that way, okay? What do you think, in my opinion, when reading it, where they're giving dates? They're not talking about, they said, when I read the one report, it felt like the direct, how do I put it? The direct deposits were completely down. They had like all this information, when you're going to get your payments. It's 80 million sent, and then it read down below that was talking about like paper checks. So when I was reading all the info, and I was like reiterated from different channels and different websites, felt like the same thing. They didn't have any concrete date for people like the tomorrows for the pay date for the thing. It felt like they were going to send us all paper checks. Remember I said yesterday, I had a gut feeling we might end up with paper checks. I'm hoping we're wrong. I'm hoping my gut's wrong. Literally, it just seems too complicated, They admitted they didn't send in. The government said they could send our deposits. They said they're waiting for more people to use its IRS tool. Yes, that's the other thing, Rick. You're exactly right. The report I read was that some people were saying without you filing the IRS tool, you wouldn't get anything. It's like they're trying to backdoor it and confuse so many people. The thing is the best course of action right now is to just sit back. If you don't have dependents, just wait for your check. If you file the IRS tool, well, I think I don't know, call me paranoid, but I think it might be a trap. People that get it weak are SSI recipients. They have their own, yes, okay. Then the rest of us the first. Yeah, exactly. And the third. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, So, exactly. Well, again, still no paper check for Dad, but more reports have Reddit paper checks today in Texas. Well, let's hope your dad gets his paper checks today. Hope so, because I'm living off ramen noodles till my next check. Well, if you're looking for your dad's check, I would say if your dad's willing to help you out, awesome. If he's not willing to part with some of it and you got to live on ramen till yours coming, well, there is no money, okay? Right now, my card, that's the second mini update was, my card is empty, okay? My card's got $19 and something after I used $1 for a 4-week subscription to the Post. Post is helping me get by and keeps my mind occupied. So, and making videos where you all helps me give you all the latest updates. Now, I got a couple other things to share that's hopefully tomorrow. Rick, as me and Nelfie have said time and time again, Rick, unless you have an actual bank account and you get paid the 22nd, the last payday for April for SSI or retirement, I'm sorry to say, Rick, but our banks are already locked in for the next 12 hours for nothing pending. So there's nothing pending. You ain't getting jack shit. Sorry to say. I'm not going to get jack shit. And Nelfie's not going to get anything. The next best course of action is tomorrow when you see if anything's trickling in on on the 23rd, and just keep checking back daily. More and have faith that if you really have faith, they'll come in early. Maybe it will, but the scheduled date is May 1st. I mean, they already got this tight as a drum. But on a side note, I got two other things I want to share with you. One has to do with the Social Security debacle. Again, I know Nelfie loves when I do these updates because she can see my frustration. Loves the updates, doesn't like the frustration. I'm frustrated because I'm in SLO. What is SLO? I'm in slow. Yeah. Let me put it to you this way, okay? What upsets me the most about everyone around is that Social Security, okay? They're basically giving, okay? Here's what basically makes me feel bad. Again, Nelfie, if you would like to reassure me or reassure the audience, feel free to, sweetheart. My point is I'm very upset that the IRS and all these people got the compilation today from the Treasury Department and stuff saying, yes, we sent out 80 million checks. Way to go us. Way to go us. We sent 80 million checks, right? Doesn't say anything about the disability retirement. Then it said those people will get their money at a later date. That's what they posted. SSI, they say early May. SSDI and retirement survivors, it said the report said later date. Then they basically said, here's the dates for paper checks. Again, it made me feel like that, honestly, that they're just basically backdooring the question again. They don't want us to know. So, Rick actually has a reason to state, that they'll pay you when they pay you. That's the way it feels. I mean, we have a date of March 1st or March 3rd. I'm not suffering, but my basically beef is, they can't keep skirting around the question. There's a lot of people asking the questions. The elderly, the disabled, etc., and it's so confusing. I mean, honestly, let me put it to you this way. You read the reports, right? You read the reports, everyone. What do you get? You get information on these people that turn around and they give dates, okay? I mean, you go to the USA Today, for example. There is a date. It's like first of May 1st for the next wave, and then it goes down the list of papers, right? The damn report, and I'm not quoting the report because every time I quote a report, then someone flags my video for something. But this is an actual serious topic that we have to, to discuss on it. So many directs, but I guess will come when I get myself. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm so much pain. I hope they hurry. Well, yes, we're all hoping they hurry too, Rick, for your sake and Robert's sake and, for Nelfie's sake, everyone. We're all hoping and praying that it comes early. Unfortunately, the problem is we're all living in a dark time right now where no one's actually honestly giving us any answers. And today, by the way, Nelfie, I'm not going to make any jokes about myself, okay? I got, yesterday, I had to cheer myself up to a point. But I was kind of irritated because, honestly, everyone was giving me information on, why, people are asking for their money to go shopping, and the IRS basically said, and Congress and reporters said, that it was other things. So so I'm checking out reports right now. One of my subscribers who's asked about yesterday about going live for him. He thought it was really awesome the other day that we made it feel like family, which is cool. He basically asked a question. I do love getting I love the comments that were coming in, So basically, I'm hoping, well, welcome, Tanya. So how are you doing today? Let me go over to YouTube for a second on my creator so I don't have to go into the video. I don't want to go back in my car. Yes, I understand your situation, Robert. We're all suffering. We are literally suffering. I do have a note oh yes, exactly. But Razor, like me and Nelfie said, tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern time, they're going to give you an update of what's going to happen on Wednesday morning for Direct Express. So basically, Direct Express is going to basically give ideas for Direct Express. They're going to give you an update tomorrow because it's closer to the pay date. So because it's closer to the pay date, they're going to give you updates. And because they're going to give updates, tomorrow between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. is what we understand. Then basically, let's see. So I'm trying to find one of the comments that someone asked about because I had, someone asked about so let's see. So I have one pending, and then so someone asked me. Okay, I got some questions here. I'm gonna just straight out answer. Okay. One says they're definitely getting rid of the Direct Express card after all what's going on, and thanks for the info. Well, I'm here to help. The problem with the Direct Express card, not feeling too well actually. So the Direct Express card, is a little dry cough. Probably too many cigars. Anyways, no offense. The get rid of it. Direct Express card does have its benefits, like I've said in the past. So another one says, thanks for the info. Another one says, you heard anything about extra money, Social Security recipients getting extra money on checks after stimulus check? If you mean the second stimulus check, no, I haven't heard anything. Just rumors going around. Someone was basically making fun of me yesterday, and they just told me to tell them to kiss their ass. That's good. It says ignore them. I always try to ignore them. That was from Michael. Let's see. Some say strong. Okay, so one person asked me about if I'm going to be doing a video today, and but I can't find them in the comments. That's the really funny thing, because usually if I do videos, for example, then usually they basically can find me on the live feed if you're subscribed to me. So if you're not subscribed to me, oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm just going to reply to this and basically say, because the guy already asked me recently, reply. I'm going to say this real quick because I would. There. That means that he will know that I'm live right now, and then I don't have to go fish around to activate a video that they might say is copyrighted to me, just so I can answer a message. So let's see. Let me have noodles and ramen till my next check. Yeah, okay. Hopefully tomorrow. And so Direct Express. That's the thing. Again, Direct Express doesn't know anything. Razor, because frankly they don't. They're basically in the dark. Okay, they're basically in the dark. Direct Express is in the dark. They're basically like, we're waiting for the Treasury Department. And by the way, there's a report coming out that certain banks, right, have been giving their money back to people that had creditors take it out. Basically they're giving it back, saying this is emergency money. They need to have food. So Congress is turning around, the Senate trying to put in protections to protect people from getting into it. Old debt collectors or private debt collectors. Private debt collectors. So what happens with the stimulus money? Well, they're basically trying to protect Washington State as protection. Problem is, we're all hurting the point where we're suffering severely. So it's not cool, that everyone's hurting. Other reports is that a couple things that I want to say that's scary in a second is that, like the Direct Express thing, they decided today to give a double whammy by giving more information for paper checks so people can get their checks as soon as possible. But they also didn't say it. They said in the future is there new wording for SSDI survivors and whatever. But early May was for SSI recipients, which we already know it is May 1st. So what's that mean? May 1st, May 3rd, May 13th, May 20th, and May 27th. So the dates are there. I got them ingrained in my brain. So hello, the unheard. So basically, right now the update is we got the dates, the timeline for paper checks. We have the timeline for everything else except for Veterans Administration and a concrete timeline. And this is the thing, okay? Between me and Nelsie, we went through Social Security, we went through Direct Express, we got actual information from supervisors and so forth that came out that stated when we're going to get paid, okay? Now, a lot of people out there are basically getting kind of upset that they haven't got their money. So basically, the best course of action currently is to wait because, as I said, Social Security is still in the dark. And the veterans is in the dark. I mean, literally what you're doing is if you go around, right, what we're doing is we're trying to tell you just be patient because the current date is May 1st, May 3rd. Payments go out tomorrow for some people. So I'm assuming tomorrow we'll be able to get more information, but it ain't coming on Direct Express. I guarantee you aren't going to see it tomorrow. You can hope, Hey, Nate. So you got the message. I basically sent you a message. I couldn't find your thing, but yeah, we're all here. Welcome. So basically, like I said, Social Security basically turned around and last night basically stated, that if you have dependent child, you have to file on the portal by tomorrow. Otherwise, you lose your ability to get your $500 per kid for 2019 for this year. So you have to file for next year and get your kids your $500 payment then for your children. The other thing is the IRS has posted through the mainstream media because people keep asking. USA Today, other places have stated, like I said, that Direct Express, they didn't have any information except your money will go in there. But they gave you a timeline for all the paper checks. Remember, I made I wasn't here. What's the Direct Express time? Okay, so the timeline is May 3rd for May 1st and May 3rd. Now, anyone who gets their payments tomorrow that work part-time and have Direct Express, the unheard, will get paid tomorrow because they file taxes. That's for the filers. Okay, there's two types, and the non-filers. The non-filers get their money May 1st if you get paid May 1st. May 3rd if you get paid May 3rd. But the problem is May 3rd falls on Sunday, so it's May 1st. And then everyone else that gets their payments that are non-filers that are May 13th, 20th, and 27th get their payments when their stimulus checks with their payments on those dates. Meaning everyone else gets paper checks because apparently the 80 million filers already got theirs. But when it comes to Direct Express, they're going to update their website tomorrow between 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or it will be 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and then at 12 a.m. Or 12 p.m. I should say, 12 p.m. Pacific or Eastern Time. Supposedly, let's just go after Eastern. That's when they give the deadline for you to file for your children's, your dependents, if you have Social Security Social Security benefits, okay, and you have a dependent. That's where they file the payment by Wednesday. So basically what they're saying is, is they're going to cut you all off Wednesday so you can't file. But there's another kicker that I heard. The IRS, all right, the report came in also at the same time that stated that the IRS, besides cutting off dependents tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Time for you to get your dependent for the year, otherwise you got to file next year and hope like heck you get your just a basic credit for your kids. You don't get that extra stimulus money. Here's a kicker. What's going on is, from everything I have read, okay, on this whole report through like 20 different websites this morning, is that Social Security has also stated that if people that got their benefits starting in January 1st, 2020, January 1st, okay, they started getting Social Security disability, survivors, retirement, or SSI, right? And it started January 1st, 2020, or even February, March, when you got your first payment, okay? That if you don't file by tomorrow at noon, you must wait to get your to see if you can even get a stimulus for your next tax cycle or your next time you file taxes. So I hope that answers that question. So let's see. I wasn't here. Hello, Michael. We love you. Thank you for your help. We smoked Fiesta 5 for 99 cigars, and we're in Santa Rosa. I'm with Direct Express. We just love listening to you. I will sign up so we can. Help. Michael A. Mullins. Hello, Mike and Lisa. We love you. Thanks for your help. We smoked Fiesta 5 for 99. Fiesta for 5. I've never heard of those. I'm sorry, Michael. If you know anything about my cigar choices, I smoke. I have a cigar channel that I do reviews, but my current cigar smoking is limited to Romeo and Juliet Anniversarios. They cost about $300 a box for 28. So I smoke these because I frankly like my cigars. But welcome, Michael and Lisa. So let's see. So we will get one fat check. Yes, Nate, that's the kicker. That's the big enchilada here. So if you get paid May 1st or May 3rd, your stimulus will go in at the same time. Now, like I've tried to explain, I think our lovely Nelfie disappeared. But anyways, what's going on is Social Security turns around, okay? And they're going to be paying anyone who was a filer tomorrow. So the last of the filers get paid tomorrow. Now, it might trickle into bank accounts over the course up to the 24th is what I'm thinking. Because a lot of people said, oh, well, what about us getting payments on tomorrow? Okay. Now, as you know, Nate, let's see, blunts. I smoke Dutches. I don't mind Dutches or White Out, but I prefer the real deal. So that's why when I went and bought some cigars, I bought 20 of those for my celebratory cigar for seeing Chloe after 50 months get on disability. But we're not talking about Chloe. So what's that mean we're not talking about Chloe cigars. So that basically means that everyone gets one fat check. But like I said, the update is the IRS. You roll with those. You don't roll these. Look. These are Romeo and Juliets. These are basically handmade cigars. They actually have from 1875. Look at these. These are Ecuadorian Habano cigars. You just don't go and buy They roll these or roll them in the blunts. That's a waste. These are like classic cigars. I mean, you're talking the real deal. Churchill's, 7 inches long, ring gauge about 50 or 54. I mean, you don't roll blunts out of these. I'd say, is there something wrong? These are premium cigars. When you're looking at, let me just give you an example. And I want to get back to the Social Security thing and stuff, but look, right there. This is a cigar catalog, okay? Premium cigars, you see? So these are the stuff that you literally smoke. These are the primo stuff, not, you know. I believe those ones that I'm smoking are Ecuadorian Habano blend. One of these days I need to waddle outside and smoke one. Might calm me down a bit, you know, because I've been smoking, I haven't smoked them all, you know, and I've just been indoors. But yeah, if you get a good Romeo, here we go. So just to see, yeah, it was close. Ecuadorian Sumatran. Yep, 7x54 ring gauge. It's about $12 a stick. So there you go. You don't roll $12 sticks. So I, on the other hand, enjoy a good cigar from time to time. My husband and I used to review a lot of them on our own joint channel. So, you know, damn, those are good. Oh, these are like that. I mean, they have some really good premium ones. You can get HMS Gurks for $750 a stick if you wanted. Those are the top of it. You can get Daniel. I can't remember the name of it. Well, here it is. You can get Daniel Marshall DM2s, gold-plated cigars, and when you leave the souvenir, all the gold burns up, but you get a little gold dust and stuff after you smoke it. Basically, it's a $250 stick, wrapped in 24 karat gold leaves from Italy, and it's I mean, those are like the purest of the purest. Naturo Fuentes, I mean, they have pre-Cubans. I mean, literally what you're dealing with is the best of the best, you know, whatever you like. My favorite, it's always been Romeo and Juliet, so at $300 a stick. My husband had his own favorites, Alex Bradley and stuff, but we're not here to talk about cigars. I mean, basically, you know, me and my husband reviewed cigars on our own cigar channel. We reviewed a lot of cigars, literally, and I really love reviewing cigars, you know, and there's a lot out there, you know. My other favorite is Nubs. I can't get enough Nubs, the little short, squat fatties. I always liked the Nubs. I was named the Nub Queen, so I just love Nubs. Nubs are a sweet cigar, you know, but all right, back to Social Security. So basically, you know, I hope that answers your question. The problem is the Social Security, you know, right now is stating that early May, but the IRS, again, isn't giving any answers. They're just like, you guys will get your money in the future. We already have concrete dates. It's May 1st and May 3rd, May 13th, 20th, and 27th. They're not going to go and dump money into our card tonight unless they're doing it without us knowing of pending. And if that's the case, it kind of bothers me that they're going to bypass the pending transaction to give you we'll get my coffee real quick. So basically they're going over and violating not violating, they're what do you call that? They're bypassing the pending status just to drop it in the account. That can happen, but highly unlikely. So in my opinion, we all got to be looking at the big picture. So anyways, so that's what I wanted to say, you know, that they could have bypassed it, but highly unlikely. So my opinion is it could be something else, you know. So you're asking about, you want to know what coffee I'm drinking? All right, I'll tell you. Currently, I'm drinking Starbucks French Roast. I usually drink Maxwell House. I'm cheap. Maxwell House is really good. It's a good blend and it's cheap. In this economy, I'll show you what I drink. My main blend. See, I buy this, okay, Nate? And before you laugh at my blend tasting, I do choose different flavors because they're like $6 free shipping on Amazon. But I got a boatload of this. I don't know if it's the same price now, but I got a boatload of this price. Maxwell House Master Blend Light, okay? $4.37 a can. So I got a whole bunch of this to get me through the epidemic. I also have other blends too. I got the medium roast. I believe it's called the House Blend. And then I have Robust and Smooth. And the Robust and Smooth, if you guys need to know. So if you guys are cigar smokers, they're $6.99 a can. Okay, I will share with you this. $6.99 a can. This is what I call the cigar blends. Okay, the cigar blended coffees. This is called Intense Bold. It goes good with a cigar. I can pair it nicely with any cigar. And this one is Smooth Bold. Again, a cigar blend. $6.99 a can, free shipping on Amazon. I've been having my coffee shipped in. And that's what I truly believe in for coffee without paying $20 a can or $30. Now, before I continue, there's a guy that means a lot to me in Texas right now. I haven't heard from him in a while. Because he means a lot to me, I send him coffee once a month. A couple pounds of whatever coffee that I think would be strong enough for him. So, I always send him coffee, I try to. Well, yeah, you see, Nate, that's what I drink because it's cheap. I don't go and spend $20 or $30 on a pack of coffee. I mean, right now we all have to look after each other, and if I can give a good suggestion of something to save money, I will do that to save money. I mean, yeah, like I said yesterday, I subscribed to the digital version of the Washington Post, and I'm telling you, I can't fathom. I mean, I can't complain. I should say that the Post is pretty good. It's going to update to edition 2 soon. So like every 12 hours, they give you the night edition, which is good. So you get 2 editions. So yeah, the first edition's still there. And it is really good because I'm actually enjoying the Washington Post. The stories alone, I got to tell you, keep me busy reading. And that's where I learn about Social Security, I'm learning about, a lot of things, and then I use the internet, too, for your guys' news as well. Let's see. Keurig. Well, unless someone's going to generously send me a Keurig, I have a little drip coffee pot that my husband bought a long time ago, and it still works. I got like two little 4-cup drip coffee pots, and with the little coffee crabs. Then I got the jumbo 12-cup. So anyway, look at it. My coffee works really well, either or. I wouldn't mind an espresso maker, but problem is I don't want one that's going to be $500 like my husband bought me, and then it failed within 3 months. I'm in Washington State. Everyone knows this. Yeah, basically what they're doing, Razor, is they're giving a deadline for people to file for direct deposit through the portal by tomorrow at noon, as well as direct deposit or paper checks for people that have dependents. They're just like, hey, if you don't get it, you're screwed. So basically, they're saying that right now. But it also stated that they're trying to get everyone to do the IRS portal anyways, even if you are a non-filer, they're trying to get you to do it. That was one of the things the report said. So So I do have a couple other stupid things to report. Something stupid here, but it has to be addressed. And it's sad, okay? Hey, what happened to Nelfie? Is she okay? She just disappeared again. So, anyways, the other report I wanted to say is, not that it matters, is one of our beloved followers of this channel wanted to buy a Nintendo Switch. Apparently, I just got wind that all Nintendo Switches in the country and around the world is sold out, except for the scalpers. Somehow the scalpers are using a bot to suck them all up. And because of it, they say the Nintendo Switches aren't going to be restocked until after summer, which really sucks. So I thought I'd share that too. It kind of shocked me last night that I was watching a report and then I read up and then I went to my fact-checking mode and I came up. Chloe heard me last night sigh, and the Switch was sold out at every store in America. Let's see. This is Josh. I've been on SI with 3 and I just got a Peel 1 in Feb. I should be good to give me a stimulant. No, you're not going to be good. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to explain this to you. You say I've been on SSI. So okay, so you've been on SSI since you were since I was 3. Okay, so so you've been on SSI since 3. And what did you get now? More SSI or SSDI or what is it you know that's the first question I have to ask, because so you came here to ask a question of stimulus. I will explain the stimulus, but I'm curious about what you won. What now? You won disability or SSI again, or what? It doesn't make sense. So please explain that, and I'll explain my situation to explain to you what I know about Social Security. Oh, so basically you got reappeal. You were up for review and you got reviewed and they kept keep you going because your disability. I get it. Okay. So it was a review. All right, or revaluation. All right, so here's the deal. Basically, because if you've been getting benefits since you were 3 and you said you just won won an appeal. So if you've been on SSI since you were 3 and you won an appeal, so you appealed your review. So whatever they were saying, oh, you can work or whatever, you went in and appealed it. So while you were appealing it, you were probably still getting paid. So you should be still good. But the problem is if you receive benefits from January of 2020 onwards, you have to file the IRS portal by tomorrow at noon, or you won't get a check. The other problem is, from what I've read, is if you have dependents or children, you need to file with the IRS portal tomorrow. Otherwise, you're not going to get a check. Sorry, something was just like, I was laughing or something. If you are have no dependents, you will get a check. Now, if you got a check at 3 years old, basically, unless you are under the age of 17, you will be getting a stimulus check. The only way you're not going to get a stimulus check is if, and this is a big if, and I'm going to be crystal clear with you, that Social Security, she makes a better door than a window.
I'm sorry, I had to get something.
Yes, I know, your tobacco. Good girl. Basically, what happens is that basically, unless your family, while you were on this appeal getting no money, and your family decided to, quote unquote, and I'll be crystal clear, basically turned around and put you as a dependent on their taxes, they can do that. Then you won't get a check. That's the only roadblock I see happening, unless they put you as a dependent on their taxes because they were supporting you during your appeal or whatever. So It's Michael and Lisa, right? I believe it's Lisa. Basically, you're right. You don't do anything unless you have dependents. Then, if you have dependents, you're going to be filing from, uh, uh, yeah, Mike and Lisa. Okay. Basically, you will be basically doing jack diddly crap. All you got to do is sit back and let it hit your Direct Express account, your direct deposit account, or whatever. So if you want to know about your direct deposit, okay, if you have direct deposit, I'll explain this again for everyone. Because I know someone's going to ask me about, I get SSDI, I get SSI, where's my money? Well, here we go. The wheels go round and round, right, Nate? Hold on, I'm going to do this. I got to do it. So, what's your definition of life? I believe that's how it goes from the bucket list, Jack Nicholson. The wheels on the bus go round and round. All right. Okay, so what's that mean exactly? All right, so basically it means you don't do anything. If you have dependents, you got to get your dependents filed on the Little Simple form on the IRS portal by tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Otherwise, you'll get $1,200, but your kids aren't going to be covered. 2, when am I going to get it on Direct Express? Well, as I've said many times over, May 1st, May 3rd. However, if you were a filer on, there's 2 types. There's the filer and there's the non-filer. The filers started getting their payments between April 8th, 15th, and tomorrow's 22nd. They also are trickling in from the 11th onward for bank accounts. Direct Express is 8/15th to 22nd. The reason for 8/15/22 is the people that work and get benefits work like SSI or Social Security retirement, and they work and they file their taxes for the times that they worked making money, and they did the filing of taxes to let the IRS know, and those people are entitled to $1,200. So they're the first ones out the door. From the 11th onward, it's trickling down. For Direct Express, it's 8/15 and 22. So people sit there on YouTube posting comments, yes, we get paid tomorrow. Really, last time I checked my deposit on my card, it was not anything pending, okay? Unless they're bypassing the pending regulation and dropping it directly into Social Security's own account, your Direct Express card tomorrow morning. It's highly unlikely we're going to see a dime tomorrow. It is May 1st and May 3rd. I know everyone's hoping it's early because they're living in, they're hurting because of the way things are looking. Now, I want to say, don't worry, you'll get your money. The problem is again, what happens to the people that get their SSI? Well, if you get SSI and you filed taxes, you get your payment tomorrow. Anyone else, it's early May for the most people from April 30th and May 1st. Anyone that gets SSI or Social Security retirement, again, let me be crystal clear on this, will get their payments on the pay dates that they're doing. So next month, it's May 13th, 20th, and 27th. That's the last of the direct deposit stimulus checks. Let's see. Do we have any questions? Let's see. Love you all. I get my check December 7th, 20. I got my check in December. We saw the bucket list too. The Love Unheard. Okay, so basically, that's when you get your money. Now, Social Security says we get it early May, okay? I read a report this morning as part of my update that Social Security stated that you would get paid early May for SSI recipients. They didn't tell you the other part where the 13th to 20th to 27th you get paid, Some people, they're talking about SSI going out tomorrow. But the problem is if your Direct Express card, for example, doesn't have a pending, we're all in limbo here, because unless they go and directly deposit the money into the account tomorrow without us knowing, we're all living in hope and faith that it will come tomorrow for us, but it won't. It will be soon. Now, here's the problem, okay, with this update also is I talked about Social Security basically giving a complete timeline on paper checks. Again, it made me wonder, okay, some people sit there and say, oh, are you paranoid? I can be. And the reason I'm skeptical is today they gave an update, USA Today and other places, where they gave an update of all the dates that people are going to get paper checks. I know some people out there are getting paper checks, but others aren't. The ones that aren't are asking this, the 70 million people that are asking for where their check is because 80 million people got it. The IRS isn't saying anything. They're like, oh, so to me, I basically am kind of paranoid when I say it makes us feel like we're getting paper checks. When they keep asking about the 70 million, the only one that made an update was Social Security, where it says if you have a Direct Express card, direct deposit, or if you get paper checks, whatever form you use, that's where you're going to get your stimulus. That's fine and dandy, but it doesn't say actual deposit dates. Today they gave deposit dates for, not deposit dates, but check dates that when checks are being printed and sent out. It didn't have any dates, again, on direct deposit for people. They're just saying, oh, the next payments are going out tomorrow. We know this because it's for Social Security and retirement. That's what the calendar says. So it'll be trickling in all the way to the end of the month, I'm assuming. But there's another problem with this whole issue. Yes, I'm not putting hope. If I get it, I get it. I just wait. There's the best thing. You basically don't put your entire eggs in one basket. Now here's another problem. Another part of the update is that Social Security is turning around and basically saying your money is not going to be touched. They're discussing a possibility to protect your benefits from private debt collectors. Now, one of the things that Direct Express does is keep private debt collectors from trying to get into it. Direct Express is the example. If your money's on a Direct Express card, they can't literally tap into it. It's basically like one of the few safety programs out there that protects everything. Now, if your money went into a direct bank account, from what I understand, it's a different story. But here's the deal. So basically, a lot of banks are refunding the money. Some of these temporary accounts, and some people that have temporary accounts, the IRS is refunding, getting the refunds, and then cutting a check. So it's basically a hit and miss. Other people that went through H&R Block or TurboTax, they're actually bypassing the temporary accounts and going into the accounts that people are recommending or put on their forms, or the Emerald card, or going out paper. So it's like if you went through TurboTax or H&R Block, working just fine. Again, it makes me wonder because of the whole stimulus check. It's like basically if you go and you pay H&R Block or TurboTax, the government's basically happy because you're supporting their buddies' tax business. But everyone else, it's like your benefits are in limbo. That's what I want to say. It's literally in limbo. And I hope that you guys understand. I know this video is going long, I just hope people aren't running away because, I'm trying to answer it in a timely fashion and to give all the answers and questions out there today so people understand, what's going on. Now, you guys are probably wondering about the whole paper check thing. If your money is going into a actual bank account, okay, and a bank account, basically, it might be able to be touched. However, I believe Washington, Oregon, California, New York, and a few other states put in that debt collectors, even state debt collectors, can't take it. Right now, that money is used for one purpose and one purpose alone. And as Congress was saying about debt collectors, it's about food. We're giving the money to make sure you guys eat during a time of crisis, which I don't think it will be touched, but you might want to check in with the right people. But highly unlikely because it's there to support you in your time of need. If you're both on disability, then that's one thing, you know. And the thing is right now, the California courts are in lockdown, okay, and there's no garnishee on her account. At least they ain't gonna get touched. That's the thing. They have to have a garnishee and all this, or a garnishee put in place before, or a garnishee put in place during the crisis because they know the 1200's coming. But if your court system's down, do you think they're gonna even basically get through the door to get a garnishee payment? No. So, now, what else can I answer? So Social Security turns around, like I said, and they're basically turning around, and a lot of reports said unless you filed a simple IRS portal claim, you might not get money. That's one of the several of the reports were coming. They were coming up with, that's why you haven't got your payment yet, is what these people are theoretically saying. I need to get some new pants soon. I'm getting a hole in this. I guess the hole is finally wearing out. Pants are getting thinner and thinner. People say, "Oh, pants don't get thinner." Yeah, they do. They get thinner and thinner as you wash them. The fibers break down slowly and slowly until they can tear easy. But we won't go to pants. You know, I do need to just say, you know, welcome aboard, everyone. What's wrong, Boo Boo? Water almost empty? Oh, you're good with water. Sorry, everyone. I do check from time to time. I don't want to be rude. You think I'm just walking away? I'm actually checking to see if my rabbit has enough water. I'm always checking to make sure the little bun's got some water, you know. So Kim Jong-un dead? I don't know. If that's the case, they were talking about him dying. They had a report last night on the Wall Street Journal about it. So if CNN posts a thing on it, that's going to be the most interesting thing in the world today to talk about for a minute. Let's see. No. Let me look. There's nothing in the world. Basically, it just says my news. Yeah, basically, you know, nothing. He's not toast. He's basically, they don't know what's going on. Yeah, so I'm just checking for you. You know, let's see. Well, by Wikipedia, it states he's passed away. So, from heart trouble, it says. It says here that he smoked too much, but it says, yeah, it doesn't say anything about birth. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Still says he's alive. So, you know, it must be one of those false reports that's coming out. So, you know. So, nope. If it did, it would come out and say it. So there's nothing about it yet. We'll know more. But this is not, you know. Let's see. Yeah, well, there, you know, that is. This is Josh. I agree completely. Robert Long. There's a rumor that he had. Well, you know what? Everyone's got rumors about this stuff. I mean, I've heard nothing but rumors about Social Security, for example. We're not getting our money and stuff. I mean, look, you want to know what's really scary, Robert? I'll tell you what's scary. Go read the Washington Post. If you haven't subscribed to it, it's a good newspaper. It'll tell you the skinny. We're looking at a the global depression coming on. It also states that certain states opening up their borders before the entire world gets this virus under control is going to see a spike in a lot of things, sickness and a lot of people passing away, and it's a bad move. I mean, literally, this newspaper is basically keeping me up to date. I've never ever seen any other newspaper in the world keep me up to date like the Washington Post. I mean, depression, spikes in the coronavirus, spikes in the economy. They even get to the bottom line of the political mess, that why people want, why the commander in chief wants to actually open up the government, yeah, and open up businesses. I mean, literally, this is the only thing he's got standing for him for re-election. I mean, we're not going to go there, but you get the idea. The newspaper has been great. And if there was a newspaper article, you know. So a tentative deal just came out, by the way, by the Post, saying that a business deal is reached for I believe it's $400 or $500 billion for expending, on that. All right, so it says Congress reached nearly 500 billion deals. So small businesses, earlier they ran out of money. So that's why I said it seems like everyone is oh yeah, let me just show this. My beloved moderators ain't there to put that in the check to approve it. It says it's gonna buy more food. There's a rumor city at Corona. I tried to stay away from news. It hurts my same head with YouTubers about stimulus. Well, yeah, I mean literally, but at least these people here are going to get their money. But the problem is if they have to ask for more for small business loans out of 2.2 trillion, you got to ask yourself, why can't they pay 70 million people their stimulus checks on Social Security and SSI? The VA, they should be giving money to the VA, but it basically breaks down, let's see. So basically, they're talking about who gets the money and why, testing and more on rural foods and rural hospitals and. So, just so you know, I was talking about how the stock market's going to take a dump more. Took a dump more today because they're basically basing it on oil. It's just funny how the stock market, oil has, But anyways, is this the second edition? No, this is the first edition. I guess they just updated it. So basically, my point trying to say is there's a lot of, I'm not trying to steer away from you, but basically the reports are coming out there that, let's see, there's a rumor he said he had corona, let's say Laurent Parker, where the F is Social Security people, SS people checks. Tired of waiting, sorry. Well, the point is they're giving us the runaround. I mean, literally, the dates are, okay, I'll explain this to Laurent, all right? Basically, Social Security payments are going like this. You get your SSI payments if early May, okay, except for the non-filers. The non-filers get their checks for their stimulus checks the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd of the month, so tomorrow. And everyone else got theirs trickled down direct deposit from the 11th of April onwards. Whereas Social Security people, the non-filers, and the non-filers, again, let me explain this, Laurent, is you get yours at the end of April, okay? So we have evidence and concrete information that states that payments will go out May 1st. Now, if you're a Direct Express card holder, nothing is pending. So if you don't have Direct Express and you're asking Laurent about your money, keep checking your bank account. That's the best course of action I can do, or check online. Let's see. Do you walk in a Walmart without a mask on? I don't go on a Walmart, Robert. I live on an island, okay? I go to the local grocery stores, or I get on the ferry and I go to the next island, 2 islands over, to get groceries too. I don't get off to the mainland to go get groceries because I don't trust all the coronavirus. I mean, I don't trust getting on a public bus to go and get out to get the virus. I mean, I don't trust going out anywhere right now. Let's see. Do you see? Thank you for your help. We'll look into it tonight. Gotta go get meds, Mike and Lisa. No problem, Mike and Lisa. We'll be here off and on. Do you see my previous question? Let me see. Have you heard anything about a coming food crisis? Start 3 people who are in the meat business and then can I see it's promote? Yes, actually, Nate, let me talk about that. Since you wanted to bring this up, I will gladly bring it up. I hope you guys let me finish my coffee and let me use the bathroom, and I will talk about the meat crisis. This is really big, actually. The meat crisis is really big. All right, so you asked about the meat crisis, Nate. So I talked to my father-in-law last night. We were actually shooting the crap about a lot of stuff, okay? I asked him about the depression. He says, yeah, more likely we're going to have one because the oil market's crashing, okay? And if anyone has any questions about anything like oil crashing, depression, or anything, feel free to put it in the box because, as Nate said, what about meat? Well, right now, most of the meat that's going to be having an effect on pricing is pork. However, they said one major manufacturer that handles pork and beef will have some impact. Chicken and steaks won't have an impact, but as long as the media says beef is on teeter-tottering, people are going to start stockpiling beef. However, they also said cold cuts are going to have problems. Factories that make cold cuts like sliced ham, sliced turkey, sliced chicken, they're having problems, okay? So a lot of people are starting to ask a lot of questions, you know. I get emails all the time from friends of mine. They're like, can we trust this? You know, thinking about it, and that's a question you got to ask about, is about the food. Can you trust buying something when factories are closing down because of coronavirus? You know, they have packaged cold cuts going into a refrigerator truck or whatever. Maybe they freeze it or whatever. It goes to wherever to a warehouse to a distribution center. They say by the time it gets into the grocery store, say 600 miles, 900, 1,200 miles later, frozen or whatever. I don't know how they do that. You know, that the virus, if it's in your meat, has dissipated. I'm starting to wonder about that. That's what really gives me the heebie-jeebies. Oh, by the time you get your parcel and your mail and everything, FedEx, UPS, whatever, time it gets home, it's all dissipated because of temperatures. Literally, they don't have a cure, as my father-in-law said, and they don't have a vaccine. Hold on. So you're saying people get Direct Express 1,200 at any time on card or in May. May 1st, Robert, is when everyone's getting it. Now, if you get paid May 3rd, you get it May 3rd, which will be May 1st. If you get SSI May 1st or April 30th, you get it on May 1st or April 29th. Or actually April 30th. So if your payment's April 30th, more likely your payment, if you get the end of April for SSI, you'll get it April 30th. If it's May 1st, you get it May 1st. If it's May 3rd, you get it May 1st because May 3rd is a Sunday. And then everyone else on SSI and retirement that's a non-filer, as I said, the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th of May gets their checks then for the stimulus. So almost all the way to June. But anyone who has children, like I said, Robert, has to file by tomorrow to get the dependent, their $500 per kid or $500 per child, 17 or under. Otherwise, it closes up, and you might not get it till next year due to the fact that they didn't file for the IRS portal. The only other way the IRS is not going to give you a stimulus check is if you started getting Social Security or SSI benefits in 2020. So January 1st, 2020, then you need to file with the portal by tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Otherwise, you ain't getting a stimulus check. Sorry to say. So let's see. So basically about the meat. So if they're talking cold cuts could be affected, they're talking about like hypothetically like those little sausage ropes, Hillshire Farm sausage ropes. They're talking about a lot of things being infected. People are worried about it, so there is going to be food shortages. But you got to ask yourself something, Nate. Okay, since you asked the question about food shortages. Now, food shortages is scary. But here's the deal about food shortages. Picture yourself going to a grocery store. Hold on. Trump said he's going to reopen accommodate people by starting May, so we hope we're going to. Actually, Josh, the problem is we're going into a depression. Read the newspapers. Let me explain that, okay? Basically, let me finish the whole thing because that's a reminder to know what I'm going to say. So to you, Nate, basically what's happening is if you go to the grocery store and your store is filled, you should be fine. But as soon as people get their $1,200 checks, you're going to see the grocery store dwindle for a while. But what about groceries? You ask, what about the other problems? The other problem is if you go to Amazon, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, you try to find groceries, toilet paper, canned goods. You ain't finding it. Why? Sold out. It's like the Nintendo Switch. It's all sold out. People are sucking them dry. Besides the toilet paper epidemic or pandemic of running out of toilet paper, Nintendo Switches are ran out. Switch Lights. We're seeing a massive hoarding of stuff. Switches are the latest example. So, but they also are having a lot of problems in China. I mean, I can explain everything in detail to this is Josh. Now, you think people prove that 2,000 people direct expense, that's only 2,000 free rent. No, I don't. Congress and the Senate's not going to be that generous to offer anyone $2,000 a month, free rent, free medical, free food stamps. I mean, as Don Capo, if he was here, one of my moderators, he would say yes. But the Congress ain't going to be that generous. They'd have to stimulate or print $15 to $20 trillion, and that would devalue our money and our products to nothing. Now, about this whole thing about reopening the government. All right, this is Josh. I'm going to basically be blunt with you. Everyone likes, apparently Nate and other people they like me because I'm direct and clear as a bell, crystal clear. What you're saying is he's trying to do a political stunt. He's trying to force open the government, okay, for his political ambitions to resurrect the government. If you watch movies like My Fellow Americans, if the economy is good, he will be reelected. And that includes jobs. The economy is taking a dump, okay? 42 states stated, unless they have the testing equipment, they're not going to reopen. They're taking it slow. The Washington Post today stated that we're in a new norm where we better get used to restrictions and lockdowns and no businesses opening except for the people that have a way to keep things like special businesses. Like, for example, as long as the special feed store is open, my little baby rabbit, my little bun, he's going to have food every month, you see. So basically what's happening is if the 8 states open without containing the virus, 8 states are going to spike, which means they will have to do stay-at-home orders after the fact, which means we're going to see this be blown up in our face. The World Health Organization said, England said, other countries have said, we haven't seen the worst of this yet. If you sit there and say the government's going to open up, guess what happens? You're going to see a spike in this so bad that the spike is going to be so bad that look what happens. Everyone hurts. And you're going to see too many people sick and a lot of people passing away. That's something that 42 states aren't jeopardizing to reopen the government for politics. Those governors are not playing with our lives. They're saving our lives. 2, someone wants to play politics with their lives, and some people want to open their states up, and people pass on. He's just going to pass the buck to the governors for reopening. He's doing this for a political stunt. He wants it open because he wants to open it. My father-in-law said to all of you, by the time we get the new numbers, we're going to probably have 32 to 62 or more million people unemployed. He can't open the government up. He opens up federal governments, they could get sick. The federal offices of Social Security and other places. He opens up, tries to force states open without testing kits. You're going to see it take a dump. It's gone. Let's see. So you're saying people get Direct Express 1200 at any time? Not any time. Basically, I've given you the timeline. Pork makes you go crazy. No, pork doesn't. I like my club sandwiches and my bacon. Hell yes, I love being here with you. Your check's on the 24th. Look, Raspberry, I've said it many times. It's May 1st and May 3rd. Even Nelfie's told you this how many times. Why do you come in here and basically say, check's on the 24th? The checks come the 24th if it's a paper check. I'm not getting a paper check. I'm waiting for Direct Express. Aren't you waiting for Direct Express? Sorry, I should be basically, Not sure about y'all, but could this be the rapture? No, but does anyone want to hear the rest of the media's part? So, Nate, you asked about pork. This is going to basically bring out a shortage of pork. But if the unemployment keeps going through the roof, that which it will, to your question, will there be food shortages? As me and Don Capo has said, yes, there's going to be food shortages. You're going to see food shortages soon. That's why Congress has said, make sure to buy groceries. No, I'm waiting on Direct Express, not only one. So here's the other problem. Okay, I've said this yesterday, Nate. You're looking at a global destruction right now, most likely in the next 18 to 24 months, the financial collapse of the world's economies. Oil is in negative as yesterday. They're giving away oil. They're paying people to take oil off their hands. Oil refineries can't refine the oil to make it into gas or other things due to the fact that the tanks are full. So basically, no one's driving their cars. No one's driving their trucks. Tankers are stalled. Cargo container ships are stalled. They got a lot of product that they can't move because no one's letting them in the ports. Fruits and vegetables are stalled, except for fruits and vegetables in this country. Now we're having a pork shortage. They're talking about a beef shortage with beef steaks and stuff. That's going to take a dump. And all while we're sitting here waiting for our 70 million payments to come in by Direct Express and direct deposit and paper checks, not including the other people, what happens? The American people turn around and they're basically literally suffering. And yet, if no one's buying fuel and no one's bringing product into the country, that means airlines aren't moving, except for certain airlines are getting dirt cheap deals on fuel. Well, once that fuel's done, and the airlines that's shipping stuff like FedEx, UPS, Amazon has their own planes, those will be fine until the fuel runs out. And in this pandemic, when it runs out, that's when these people are going to try to refine more fuel. But at that point, it's too late. As long as people aren't buying gasoline or diesel for their automobiles or their yachts to pull in and out of port, and they're stuck where they're at, you're going to see that no one's feeling comfortable going back to work because of it. So it's going to cause a panic. Eventually, if no one goes back to work, you're going to see factories begging people to go back to work. These certain factories that are essential will get back to work, but they'll have the testing equipment. Well, the rest of the world won't have it, or the rest of the U.S. won't have these equipments fast enough. So what happens? They're going to produce toilet paper and food and other necessities for us that's essential. Everything else is going to be stopped or halted. You're not going to be able to see but rusted cars and car lots because no one will buy a car. People are now trying to be conned out of their $1,200 stimulus to buy a car. I beg you, do not buy, anyone watching, don't buy a car unless you have the equity to make payments. If you have no job right now, don't take the risk. You'll just lose your car eventually. There's people out there that want to use it for a car when they don't know when their next job's coming around the corner. Be careful of what you do. So let's see, by the time people get their money, there will be hardly anything to buy. Exactly. Look at the Nintendo Switches. Look at the groceries. I mean, right now, a lot of places are actually hurting for food right now. Literally, a lot of people are hurting. I mean, I was talking to my father-in-law. He said grocery stores are coming back to normal. That's because some of the people haven't got their unemployment checks yet or their food stamps. So they're basically in limbo. Their unemployment food stamps are almost in the same office as in most states. So what happens? They turn around and they basically are waiting, right? So they're waiting to go and buy groceries. So the grocery stores are still slowly filling up. I did find out that the lazy people on my island, they like to go to 1 to 2 grocery stores and everything's sucked up, right? So Chloe the other day talking about groceries went over to another island where we live on a little island chain. They had so much at the other grocery store. She says we can buy toilet paper with no trouble. I'm like, so as soon as my $1,200 goes, I'm going to start going over there to get groceries, take a little ferry ride. So, but that still doesn't answer the question that people have that how is this affecting everything? Well, look, if oil went into negative and no tanker ships are moving product, and no people are filling the cars up, and no one's seeing a lot of semi trucks on the road moving stuff. Their truckers are, but they're moving very little, only essential. And you got airlines not moving, and airlines basically not filled up. What does the government can do? We got to reopen. We got to reopen right away. Yeah, and when that happens, he's basically going, and the governors, as soon as these governors do it, and people start passing away because of this virus, you're going to basically see other states already basically are closing down borders. They're going to make sure those states are in their own little quarantine world. Thing is they can't contain this virus. There is no cure. What happens to the rest? Well, as Nate said, you heading out? Yeah, check out no, well, you know what we need. Check out the.
I'm just gonna check that out and I'll get the note to come home.
Yeah. So basically, thank you. So basically, and if they do have any, if they are open, maybe you should score some good cuts of steak or shrimp, maybe. That's what we're doing, tacos and stuff. Okay, sorry, smart. We gotta get some seafood for, if possible. Anyways, not to talk about seafood. I'm just, so basically, what else does that mean? Well, basically, look at the retail sector. Okay, I talked about this yesterday. Retail sector is bottoming out. And so
if I do tacos, I'll do them tomorrow when I get the produce Orcas.
Yeah, way to go, Chloe. Way to go. So Orcas has got some great stuff. So basically, make sure I'll make a better list so we have better ingredients for tacos, fajitas, and burritos this week. Sorry about talking about food. So, okay, so what's that mean exactly? If retail shut down completely, malls and everything, they're trying to see what he's trying to do is restart the entire retail market. But if people are unemployed, they're not going to go back to work. Did you know that 81%, last time I saw, I thought it was like 86% now or higher, feels unsafe going back to work with a virus spreading rapidly that has no cure? By the way, it reminds me of this, if anyone has seen it, The Stand, about a super virus. So let's see. Hey, I'm on Direct Express. What am I receive a damn check? Well, that's the thing. I guess I'm going to have to reiterate this again for you, Veritha. Anyone who was a filer and still works and gets Social Security or SSI got their payments the 8th, the 15th, and tomorrow, the 22nd. Everyone else that filed filed their tax forms started trickling out the 11th. For anyone on Direct Express, okay, that is a non-filer, gets theirs at the end of April, early May. So May 1st to May 3rd. Now, May 3rd falls on Sunday, so it's May 1st for everyone, except for April. If you get your SSI check April 30th, then more likely you'll get your stimulus check probably later than April. They said early May. So anyone who's on SSI April 30th or May 1st will get it May 1st. Now, everyone else who gets SSI on the second, third, and fourth Wednesdays of the month, the non-filers, they will get their payments on Direct Express the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. Now, yeah, for any dependents, you got to use the IRS portal by tomorrow, or you ain't going to get your $500 per kid at all. You're not going to get it by 12 o'clock noon tomorrow Eastern time. Otherwise, no more money. Let's see. By the time people get their money, there will be hardly anything to buy. That's what I'm saying. The retail market is completely at a grinding halt because nothing's coming into this country, Nate. And people are basically watching what they buy. I mean, literally, look at the markets. People say, oh, this is buying, that's selling good. Yeah, if you have this or that. Otherwise, if you don't have one, say a Switch, then it doesn't matter. You ain't getting a Switch till summertime. If then. For example, why am I received a check and I am Direct Express? Why are you receiving a check? Because sometimes they give checks. It depends. Did you file your taxes with H&R Block or TurboTax? That could be one reason why you're getting a check. Or if you filed with the IRS portal, they could be mailing you a check. Thing is, there's a lot of reasons why they're going to be giving you a check. Good morning, Jason. Well, we don't get it yet. Yeah, well, we all know this. I checked my balance this morning, and nothing's pending unless they drop it in tomorrow without a pending status, which if they did that, we would know tomorrow morning or tonight at 10 to 10:30. Tucker family, I have never did my taxes ever, and I have SSI since I was 17. So what will happen? My little girl gets SSI. Well, when they send her. Because you are okay, so here's the deal with you. You're Tucker Family Blogs, okay? You basically get SSI since you were 17. That would mean after you were 17, you became your own custodial guardian of yourself, basically your own self. Your parents didn't have to maintain it. So basically that means you will get $1,200. Now, because you have a child that's getting SSI too, that means you don't get $1,200 for your child. What you're going to need to do is go to the IRS portal and file for a $500 benefit. Even if your child's on SSI, they're not going to be giving two $1,200 checks because they don't give anything. Now, if they know your child is under the age of 17, they might just give you the $500 anyways, but more likely, from everything I've read, you only get one $1,200 check for yourself. Anyone under the age of 17 that is on SSI is probably going to be getting no extra money unless they file. You file for the $500 additional payment by tomorrow at noon Eastern time on Eastern Standard Time on the IRS portal. I've never heard anyone that has had benefits for them and benefits for their daughter and basically, $1,200 extra dollars for their child. I've never seen that. So far I've seen, $500 if you file. Otherwise, Let me tell you a story for you all, for the Social Security sakes of things, okay? And I'm going to answer this because it's going to be kind of funny, okay? What the hell is my check? Laughing out loud. I'm on SSI, but I had to file SA 1099. I wonder how and when. I'm on SSI, but if you are on SSI, they should have done the filing thing was different, So you shouldn't have done it. Let's see. You file with H&R, so because I didn't get my direct deposit in, I tried to enter my direct deposit and get my payment tool with BS. So the get my payment tool is broken for everyone. All right. So basically, let me tell you a story about myself. Okay. I get survivors. Okay. I get people asking me all the time, survivors, and I get SSDI. Okay. So I get survivors and SSDI. My parents are passed away. People say, oh, do I get 2 checks or 3? I was talking to this Social Security person the other day, yesterday, because I was trying to confirm everything that Melfi said was accurate, and I wanted answers anyways. I had a question. I said, so if someone's got Social Security survivors on one parent or both parents, and because both parents are dead, and say you're on Social Security disability as well, you get two checks. They said no. Your Social Security number is basically the primary number. The secondary or the third number is basically your father or your mother, and yada yada yada, whatever, right? So you only get one payment. So basically, even if you get like an elderly woman who gets Social Security benefits for herself, and she gets survivors because her husband passed away, she only gets one check. I mean, literally. And if you're married, you only get one check if you file jointly for $2,400. So you each get $1,200. But thing is it's a marriage thing. But with me, that's the thing. I mean, literally. Now, when it comes to people with SSI and say SSDI, again, talking about Chloe for a second, they said you only get one payment. You don't get two. So people say, oh, well, I get Social Security disability and SSI. Do I get two checks? And the elderly ask me all the time, I get survivors and retirement. Do I get two checks? And you know what? I think, honestly, and, the young lady should be able to get $1,200 per each person. But if you really want to know that question, ma'am, I would literally, I assume you're ma'am. I don't want to insult you, okay? That, ma'am or sir, that I highly recommend you check with Social Security to make sure. But I think you have to file with the IRS portal for the $500 because they're under the age of 17. But I just want to say as a joke, okay, for all of you out there, asking about Social Security, right? The two checks things or the three checks, or someone on survivors and veterans and survivors, veterans, Social Security retirement, all these things, right? They can't qualify for SSI if you have other programs, literally. So basically, picture this. We got survivors, veterans, Social Security retirement. People are asking me, do I get three checks? So you want $3,600. Is there a greedy son of a biscuit pattern here? I mean, literally, is these people greedy SOBs? Jason Chambers, morning. Well, what the heck? Okay. Yes, I filed H&R Block. I didn't give my direct info, but I entered my direct deposit. Yeah, you see, if you filed with H&R Block, they're basically saying, look, you may have Direct Express, but you ain't getting freaking a check. I'm not smart enough to do the taxes, so I guess I would get it for my kid. Oh, well. No, you basically go to the IRS portal, Tucker Family blogs. And what you do is you basically go to the IRS portal, just put it in, put all your information in on your Social Security info, and you'll get $500 additional dollars. Now, if you really need to know this, I would highly recommend before, I don't know where you live, it's not my business, but I highly recommend you check out the Social Security Administration's phone number and try to get a hold of them before it gets too late to find out if your child will get a payment too. The IRS, as everyone knows, their call center is down. You can't call them up and complain about anything. That's why they're basically doing this half-arse nitwit job that they're doing, If we are on SSI, if we can't on SSI get two check deposits in the first, how are you supposed to F that up? Because if they probably will. Let me put it this way. If they accidentally, and they basically gave me two checks, I'm just going to go shopping for $2,400 in grocery, Nate. I ain't going to basically say anything. If they do it, all right, this is the thing. I don't have any concrete evidence that they're not going to do the double payments, okay? If they're going to screw up, no one knows. That's the bloody thing. If they screw it up, they give everyone who's got retirement, survivors, veterans, and veterans get paid, and they give that someone $3,600. Good on you. If you get Social Security, disability and survivors, and you get two checks, good on you. If you get Social Security retirement and survivors, and you get two checks, good on you. Let's just say it. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Let's see. I don't want a damn check because I want direct deposit. This is very depressing for me. This check, I don't know how long this will take. Look, if you basically filed, okay, with H&R Block, Veritha, and you fall on the category of the first wave is like $0 to $20,000, I think, or something like that. The USA Today had a report recently, okay? Then your checks went out April 20th. So you're going to get your checks on April 24th by paper. Now, if you're like 20,000 to 30,000 or something, you know, let me look that up. All right, so let me look at this. Was looking this up earlier. There was an article on. So there was an article on Forbes today. Okay, there was an article on the USA Today. You know. Okay, so basically, let's see. By Forbes' own answers, I just don't want to make sure there's no videos playing. All right, so if you make less than $10,000, you'll get a check April 24th. If it's $10,001 to $20,000 and you file taxes, you're going to get your check on May 1st. So there's your payment. If you make 30 to May, then it goes all the way to September 11th for the remaining checks. So everyone that's remaining checks. So that's when you get your check. So basically states that everyone else you know, we have to wait. Now, it talks about their direct deposit. Honestly, it says nothing, right? USA Today basically did something funny, okay? Great. Videos again. I hate when they post these freaking videos that pop up. It's like, I don't want to look at some person on, you know, but the USA Today basically stated the same crap, basically, that everyone will get. Oh, yeah, there's a CNN thing. It says CNBC about coronavirus. Okay, so basically that's what it's saying for payments alone, you know. So why is it telling me to be going to be mailed on the 24th? Because that's when it's supposed to be delivered to you, okay? Payments are supposed to arrive the 24th. One of our own subscribers said that they're already having checks floating around in Texas already for stimulus checks. Thank you. You have very good info, but this is depression. Well, that's the thing. Everyone wants their money, okay? I mean, some people want it for shopping. They're depressed about it. Some people, I mean, actually spend it foolishly. They're depressed. Some people are depressed about the Nintendo Switch is all selling out. Some people are depressed because they're not getting their check for groceries or bills. The thing is let me put it this way. The IRS and the Treasury Department think because we get monthly benefits that we manage our benefits fine, that if we're begging for our $1,200 ahead of time, it might mean that we truly need a payee or we can't manage our money properly. So they're basically sitting there saying, well, yeah, let's see. Thank you, but thank you very much. Our president is speaking now. He'd much rather be here listening to you. Oh, you know, my father-in-law was joking last night. We were talking about him, and the father-in-law made a joke and says, you know, you're more compassionate than most people. He says, you'd make a better president than him. And I said, no one would vote for me. I went to the website and put in every time. It says it had no info at this time. That's because, again, you know, I said if you have a child, you're supposed to file and leave the direct deposit info blank unless you have Direct Express. All right, unless you don't have Direct Express. And you put in your account info and it'll tell you. But the problem is, again, there's a little problem with it. And I guess I forgot to mention this again because everyone's been mentioning it. The IRS portal is broken. If you are on Social Security benefits, SSI, survivor's retirement, disability, it doesn't work. It works for anyone who files taxes and they have a tax record that you paid into taxes. If you're on benefits, they're going to say there's nothing. And then one of the reasons they're saying this is because they want to tell people, again, I hope I don't scare Tucker family vlogs, but they're trying to keep people from getting benefits or getting the stimulus check. They want to keep every stimulus check out of other people's hands. And to do that, they're basically not giving proper information at times. So I apologize. The portal doesn't work for those 4 types of people. Now, it only works if you file taxes. And so that, and now they're trying, they're saying if you have direct deposit info to a bank and you want to get your benefits on direct deposit for your child, to put all your information in, you can get your benefits that way. Otherwise, like I said, you might as well just get a hold of today or tomorrow, call Social Security directly and ask them the questions before the portal closes. Otherwise, all I can say is, honestly, pray like heck that there's 2 checks. Hell, I'm going to be praying I get 2 checks. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that one. Nate, Jason, Veretha. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you about what Forbes said. Forbes basically gave an information, Jason, about timeline. It's like first checks are going to be mailed or received to people the 24th, and the last checks will be received for the remaining checks for the paper checks on September 11th. Everything else is in between. So like, and these are for people that filed taxes, for one, that don't have a bank account information. Those will go out, which is kind of fishy if you look at it this way. If you don't have a bank account and you file taxes, right? You file taxes. Most companies require direct deposit to your checks to go to the bank. So you file your taxes and you don't have a bank account. So why send them a paper check? Then, it goes up to the pay scale all the way to the end of the remaining checks by September 11th. They get paper checks. But they're also saying that anyone who doesn't have a bank account or Direct Express card that is on file that gets their paper checks for benefits, they will get their $1,200 checks then. But then the report from USA Today and Forbes and stuff said that everyone else that's on the Direct Express or direct deposit will get their benefits as soon as possible, or and they didn't say late April or early May. They just said it will be coming soon is the word. So coming soon. So again, it's a play on words thing. So it gives me kind of a headache. Thank God I took some Tylenol. Oh yeah, well they're gonna. Let me put it to you this way, okay? On September, or thinking about September, the payments all the way then. On April 15th, let me correct my date. On April 15th, a report came out that Social Security basically, the people that were on retirement, survivors, disability, SSI, the SSI was finally solidified on the 15th. At the same time, they had to make a statement that anyone who was working part-time getting those benefits, the filers, some of them were getting their $1,200 checks. Others weren't getting their $1,200 checks. Some were getting the $500 for the children. Some of them didn't get anything at all. So you get it. So the IRS said, oh, we have like 1%. Actually, the numbers were higher than 1% for what was missing in the payments, 99%. Then they said everything went remotely, of course. Everyone, they went and said everything was flawless, pat us on the back, everything's great. But here's the question you got to ask yourself. Secretary of Treasury Mnuchin said, as soon as the law is passed, all payments will be out 2 weeks. Really, the law was passed almost a month ago on the 27th, I believe it is. So that'll be the 27th of April is when the law was signed in March. 2 weeks, huh? People said in 2 weeks it would have been the week of the 13th. People started getting their payments on the filers the 8th, the 15th, and tomorrow. Everyone else that's direct deposit got it. Theirs trickled in after the 11th. We're still basically, we already have concrete dates that it's May 1st and May 3rd and May 13th, 20th, and 27th. The problem is, again, they're not posting that. You have to actually call Social Security or Direct Express for the info. So I really want to get it. I'm tired of calling my card. Yeah, well, so am I. I call my card every morning, every night. I check my bank account online at any given time when I get a harebrained thinking, money. Your card is less than $20. Man, isn't that a bummer? Well, yeah, exactly. So am I. So basically, that's why I said, Veritha, maybe we get lucky and get 2 payments, and we're on SSI or SSDI and survivors. I'm on survivors and retirement. Well, like I said, Tucker, no offense to the tobacco, I got this little cup here. I haven't had my morning chew. But anyways, honestly, don't worry about tobacco. Problem is honestly, okay, they're going to screw up somehow. They screwed it up, and then they're trying to cover the tracks. I mean, look, I've said this how many times to all of you lovely people watching me. Where is your money? I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about all of you. That's how compassionate I am. Where's your money? That's the thing. Problem is your money, no one's giving it. They're basically saying 70 million. I mean, I saw a report today, okay? A report, Nate, and the rest of you, that stated, we're out of money. Maybe that's why they're not paying you the 70 million people waiting for their on benefits. That's about 70 to 80 million people on benefits. They didn't get the checks yet because they said they're out of money. Yes, that's what it's saying. Checks went out Monday. Apparently they were mailed on Monday, and you'll get them on Friday. So you'll get them on the 24th. If you didn't get it on the 24th, give it a few extra days. Got to remember, the coronavirus is hindering the postal service. You have the Direct Express app? I do, and it's very helpful. Now, I just go right on to Direct Express's website, Nate. It takes me less than 15 seconds with my internet speed, pulls it up, and I put in my info. It'll be up and ready in 20 seconds. I don't need no app. I mean, I could put it on with my tablet, but it's already bogged down, and I prefer to read the newspaper on it than look up an app every time. And because I'm only at home, I don't have to worry about these things. Hold on a second. I'll try something. Sorry. I know you guys are like, what's she doing? Simple. I'm shutting down my laptop so the dang the Microsoft Assistant doesn't turn up. I got to tell you, that thing is a piece of junk. So basically, the last night I was sitting there. Chloe's like, what's wrong with your computer? I said, oh, it locked up. Well, it says, oh, go here and do this and do that. And so I go Control Alt Delete, and then I went to sign out. So I signed out, and then it signed me up. Then I hit enter, signed me back in, and the whole thing was working. Cool, I'll try that. Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I'm running on 1 gig down, 1 gig up for internet. I have fiber. So because I have fiber, Nate, it doesn't take me but less than 30 seconds or less time to go online. And because I use the internet so much because I'm stuck at home, you guys get the idea, Let's see. So if your dad's going to check, yes, I have. Cool, I'll try that. Why guess I want need them? Why guess I want need the app? I don't really need the app because I just use Skype, as I said, and I just call up Direct Express twice a day. Unlimited minutes. Why bother, Now, does the app actually say anything pending? Because every time I check Direct Express, it doesn't say anything pending. When I check online, it doesn't show anything pending in the box. It just says, or at the lower part where it says current balance and, etc. It doesn't say anything pending. So that's why I call Direct Express up. But so far, Direct Express, like I said, hasn't updated the website or updated anything else. They're all saying the same BS garbage. We have no information at this time. I wonder, did she leave yet? Did you leave yet? I'm trying to turn around. The time keeps going up. Keeps being a slow poke. Sorry about that. I was talking to Chloe about something. Usually Chloe and I are always talking about something, We were conversing about the fish market, so I'm in a spot of Kentucky where I have to go outside to catch Wi-Fi signals with a butterfly net. Well, then I better not be bragging, Nate, about my internet being fiber. Well, of course, I'll tell you, my Wi-Fi is basically slow as snails right now. I share my internet. I'm generous. I share my internet with my neighbor who doesn't have a job, and she likes to stream things like Disney and stuff. Because of it, it's basically helping her out. To me, it bogs it down at times. But I don't complain. The only time I complain is when I want to play my game, and I'm like, hey, I'll email her. I want to play my game. She'd be like, okay, I'm sorry, boss. You paid the bill, and you're giving it to me free, and you don't complain. That's the only time I basically send her a message. Otherwise, I don't even complain, so just checking my email, seeing if we any notices or something. Yeah, so anyways, like I said, everything's basically, different. Hey, Mop, get away from that garbage can and get away from that cage. That bunny is not for you. Which reminds me, it seems I'm going to have to wipe the floor down a bit. What is going on there? Is that what I think it is? No. I'll get a broom today and clean up that little area. Seems he's basically becoming a little I'm going to joke here for all of you, a little pellet gun. The bunny is, because there's a few pellets that's popped out of his cage. I'm going to sweep up eventually. Didn't notice them on the floor. Usually we keep the floor pretty clean, so when you see these little pellets, you think, oh, BBs, and you look at it closely, and like, nah, those aren't BBs. That's the little problem. Sometimes a bunny likes to pop them out from time to time. As long as it doesn't land in my coffee, I don't care. That's why I keep the coffee over here. But everyone who is anyone loves a bunny. They're just so cute and adorable. I just honestly, I love my bunny to no end. All right, so. You see, Clydell? I told you. No. See, Clydell, welcome, by the way, Clydell. See, I'm happy for your mom. She finally got it, That's good news for your mom, But, I assume, Clydell, you want the local update too now since you tuned in? Yes, we know, Veratha. Your check's probably due in on the 24th if you file taxes. If you didn't, your check will go out soon. We just got to wait patiently. What's going on, how much you earned or how much you get, and that's on the income level. Lucky. So, anyways, yeah, lucky is as lucky does, All right, so the update is tomorrow morning, or morning for me, or tomorrow afternoon, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the portal will be not taking any more people who have dependents. If you want to get your dependents, you're going to have to wait till 2021 to collect your dependent payment then, because at noon tomorrow they're cutting it off. Earlier I saw a report that stated that people wanted us to file IRS. Don't forget to pick up some steaks. That the lady has some good quality steaks. Yeah. She's got my debit card, so we're good. There is an answer on that on her Tuesday. Okay, basically I've explained this like 20 times today on this video. That's a little long. Everyone loves my videos anyway. Talk about anything. Well, welcome, by the way. The non-filers that basically have Social Security, disability survivors, SSI, or retirement benefits, railroad benefits, VA benefits. VA, they haven't confirmed that VA people are going to get paid, which sucks because the VA people fought for our country and they deserve their check as much as the next person, the next American Joe. Anyways, don't get me started on that one. But anyone who is a non-filer on those benefits, the system doesn't work. The IRS has got the computer program. By the way, the computer system, if anyone doesn't know, Clydell knows this, is almost 60 years old and they're still using COBOL. Which I got an update about COBOL too, by the way. I'll explain what's going on with COBOL because this was interesting. I talked to my father-in-law, who's a minister of God, and he's also a computer programmer. So the non-filers are basically, they're not programmed into the COBOL system because the IRS is looking for people that pay taxes. You know, those are the ones that are saying if their payment's been deposited or not. Anyone who's not paying taxes because they're on benefits, you're going to get an unavailable status no matter what. No, I have none of those benefits, just regular non-filer. Well, thing is the system is also on her Tuesday is broken. Okay, the system is completely broken. Too many people every day who's suffering with children. They need their $1,200 to pay bills or buy food. The system is completely shattered. It's broken. Plus the fact, like I said, the computer system is 60 years old. Now, the other update I do have for you, Clydell, but the 60-year-old COBOL system it means on business, administration, something. Anyways, my father-in-law is actually certified to program COBOL. He was joking that the government didn't contact him to help fix the problem. The problem is newer machines need a COBOL, what did he say? COBOL reader or something, a new program to read on newer computers. And because COBOL is programmed to be handling on older machines like the 1960 machines, that basically they don't want to go and buy, spend the money to update the COBOL program by updating it because it's got to go in machine. It has to be read by machine talk, not programming talk, but the machine has to handle it. So if the machine doesn't handle it on newer computers, they have to keep maintaining and repairing the older systems to handle the taxes for everyone. So no, they're not going to put anyone in quarantine camps. FEMA will not do that. You know, that's the thing. FEMA won't. So they're not going to put us in camps, or if we have it, or if we get it, or whatever, you know. So basically, you know. But the government, if they reopen without a cure, or as my father-in-law said, and the media said this, without a treatment or a vaccine. And by the way, I don't know what happened to music is making music great, MGM, but MGM stated that and I checked this out to confirm it, there is 4 types of strains of the coronavirus. The coronavirus in the past wasn't that bad. We've had coronavirus in the past, but this one is super mutating faster. So they have to have a treatment or a vaccine. And to get a vaccine, Nate, they're going to have to basically have 4 different types. And if this thing keeps mutating, it's going to be really hell to open the government. Now, like I said, okay, that if the 8 states that decide to open before they have a cure or a treatment plan, and this thing spreads like wildfires, they're going to see the other 42 states border off their states to these states because they're not going to want to get people sick. So what the president wants to do is he wants to prematurely open up the government because it's a political stunt. He has nothing to lose because what he's trying to do is he's trying to get everyone to say everything is safe, the virus isn't bad, go back to work. Unfortunately, like I said, 86% of Americans don't feel safe going to the mall, going to work until there's either a treatment plan or a vaccine. Otherwise, like the Post said, everyone is going to be basically feeling comfortable staying home. Now, if they stay home, eventually they're going to have to re-up the as Capo, I think, was trying to explain yesterday, Don Capo, is they're going to try to re-up the unemployment plan, unemployment benefits, because, like I said, if they don't have a cure, People don't, people could get sick going back to work. I mean, some people have asymptomatic symptoms, which means they don't know if they have it or not. They walk in this place, they could infect 100 people at once. Remember what I said earlier? I don't feel safe right now going out of my house. I don't feel safe going to the grocery store because the media says that grocery stores should be either delivering to your door, taking your debit card info, or you leave an envelope of cash, or they knock on your door with a mask on and you give them an envelope with them wearing rubber gloves of cash, or you get a debit card, or you pick up your groceries curbside. Otherwise, they don't think the grocery store should be open because grocery stores are the main thing that could get people sick. It's the only place that's open right now to get stuff. Now, there's other places that you could get sick. When the media said it, the takeout places, they get takeout food too. Excuse me to say this, Jason, but that desk has been in the Oval Office pretty much except for certain times, and it's called the Resolute desk. When the HMS Resolute went off course and everyone abandoned ship in the 1800s, the U.S. got the ship, refit it, sent it back to England as a great gesture to Queen Victoria. When the ship was broken up, it was made of pure oak. The royal family still, at the time, that made ships out of oak. They controlled the oak. So when the ship was broke up, there was two desks made. There was a desk made that's an unidentical twin, one in Buckingham Palace for the Queen, which the Queen of England today uses as a writing desk, and then the Resolute. The Resolute desk was modified during certain times. During Nixon's presidency, he never used the Resolute desk. During LBJ's time, he didn't use the Resolute desk. Every other president has used the Resolute desk. The Resolute desk during FDR's time had the seal put on the front of the door and modified where the seal of the president. And then during Ronald Reagan, he raised it up with two small platforms to make it taller, so he used it. Ever since, between Nixon and LBJ, the desk was in the Smithsonian Institute for a while. So during George Bush Sr.'s tenure as president, he had the desk put in his private study in the White House, but it was still there. Otherwise, he used his own desk, if you didn't know. So I hold the opinion that Trump would put us in camps of hospitals. If hospitals overfilled, Nate, Trump already had a backup plan, and that is the state governors would have the Army Corps of Engineers put in makeshift hospitals and tents. They wouldn't be putting us in camps. We'd have tents. The Army Corps of Engineers have built temporary hospitals in stadiums, temporary hospitals in tents in New York and stuff. Those never overfilled because they got those people under containment. But if it spread like wildfire in, say, Republican states that didn't listen and they opened up the government prematurely, that is where they would have to have the Army Corps of Engineers build a lot of hospitals from medical tents. And the Army Corps of Engineers the Army would come in with military hospitals, National Guard to help maintain the stem of the pandemic if this spread because they opened up businesses prematurely, which that is why the states have the control to open or close. Second problem is, as I said, Nate, is the states don't want to open right now because there's not enough testing equipment. The rumor is by the media is if you need to test everyone that works, that means you need 205 million testing kits a day. Not including any other testing kits if they decided to go shopping at the malls. You'd have to have special ways to check for viruses and you'd be poked, prodded, or whatever. Or they might make it so you have to be tested weekly for the rest of it. So that'd be an additional 150 million a week with a special card that says you're coronavirus free so you can go shopping. Otherwise, a lot of people don't feel comfortable going to shopping malls and stuff. And that's why retail is next on the list to file for unemployment benefits. you're going to see in the next week or two the unemployment benefits go through the roof because the retail sector is completely shut down. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So other people would be helping, you know. The thing is, it's a big, big mess. The other problem, like I said, like I said earlier, is fuels. You know, they're trying to pay people to take oil right now, and refineries can't refine it because the tanks are full. I mean, literally. And only thing moving right now is FedEx, UPS, DHL, and Amazon planes. Now, when it comes to ground transportation, some people delivering groceries by truck, FedEx trucks, UPS trucks going by ground. That's, you know. The other thing is trains aren't moving because not enough cargo ships are coming into port, so they're not unloading merchandise. So, you know, and as long as the unemployment rate goes through the roof and no one feels comfortable working, everyone in their right mind is going to be not purchasing stuff that they want, what I call the wants. They're only going to be purchasing what they need to get by, you know. Takes me almost an hour to get to the nearest mall, so I'm not worried about going to mall. Well, yeah, that's it. As long as, you know, these online stores think that they can contain the fallout by having online warehouses, that's fine. But what if there's no online malls or retail stores, you know? No Xbox, I didn't get my money, and there's nothing pending. Everyone knows you're going to get your check to May 1st or May 3rd. Plain and simple. Beforehand, nothing. Just wait patiently till May. Everyone else has got to wait. The IRS, like I said, you know, they made other media has made statements today that, you know, people that filed their taxes, the last of those payments will go out tomorrow, and it'll trickle for Direct Express for filers, and then anyone who's a filer that didn't get a check yet will trickle in till the end of the month, and then everyone else is going to start to see paper checks. So right now, there is no date on when people will get paid. I did think about this. Have they tried the vaccine? They don't have a vaccine. That's the thing. They don't have a vaccine right now because they're working on it. It's like my father-in-law said, Jason, you get a vaccine, before they can approve it to the FDA, they got to test it, retest it a month at a time to see if it's effective. And if it does, you know, that's fine. But some of these, like I said, the coronavirus has mutated 4 times. So they need 4 different vaccines. And if this thing keeps mutating, they're going to need 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 vaccines because this thing keeps mutating. So that's why the media has already said that more likely the restrictions will stay in place, and we're going to only be allowed to go outside to get fresh air, to check our mail, to walk our dogs, and to get groceries. Otherwise, we're indoors. That's it. We're indoors. Actually, MetaBank. There was an article today about MetaBank. MetaBank is basically a banking system where if you keep your card current and you pay the small fee of like $5 or $10 a month, what happened with MetaBank is some of these temporary bank accounts that people are giving the IRS portal to get their payments. The IRS has sent money to the MetaBank. Unfortunately, MetaBank's been sending it all back. The IRS made a statement last night or early today saying they're going to start sending payments out again. MetaBank said, look, if these bank accounts are closed or if these bank accounts are temporary accounts, that we need to confirm the people's identity. So they sent the deposits back to the IRS. The IRS wants to try again. Unfortunately, the problem is these people with MetaBank, from what I understand from the report today on MetaBank, is more likely those people with MetaBank accounts will get their stimulus checks by paper. So that's basically a big mess. That was something that was on the report today about MetaBank itself, or what they call neobanks. Some people are trying to get their direct deposit put on on their PayPal, and PayPal is returning it, saying that some people haven't confirmed an actual bank account connected to PayPal. So PayPal is sending the money back to the IRS. So the IRS is thinking about sending it again if it gets returned again to the IRS or the Treasury Department, that they'll turn around and send paper checks out again. So, well, yeah, on her Tuesday, it does suck. I mean, literally, it's like everything. And by the way, the IRS is screwing up left and right. That's why I said I wouldn't doubt that it's going to be screwed up. Now, as we know, tomorrow Direct Express is supposed to update their website and their phone information to explain when payments will be going in. Right now, they have it. As I said, I talked to Social Security yesterday. Social Security stated that we're going to get it May 1st or May 3rd. Or other people will get it May 13th, 20th, and 27th. So we just have to be patient. What really sucks is the people that want their $1,200 and filed with the IRS portal and didn't put deposit information in, direct deposit, DD, then what's going to happen is they're going to get a paper check. And a lot of people are complaining about it, saying, well, I tried to do this or do that. And unless you give a bank account info for them, more likely, because they want to do more direct deposits than they do paper checks. But because some people don't have bank accounts and some people don't have Direct Express and some people don't have MetaBank, they're stuck with paper. So it's going to be a while. So a lot of people are complaining about it too. So a lot of people are saying the people that are suffering the most are the ones getting hurt the most. Plain and simple. Yeah, Jason, is that Direct Express or MetaBank or some other card? Because you just said my father-in-law gets disability in his card, says my father-in-law. Well, your father-in-law gets his payment on a card. Are you talking about Direct Express or are you talking about a different neobank? Neobank means bank that's online over a physical bank. So, so that's what's going on the update part of what's going on. We just have to wait, sit back and wait, and go from there. So, whereas like I said, it's kind of confusing, but the thing is as on her Tuesday said, somehow I think it's still going to come out screwed up somehow. So tomorrow between 6 a.m. Pacific time or 9 a.m. Eastern time, they're going to give an update to Direct Express people. They're trying to work out the final details. They're also trying to get people to give the veterans their money as well, because it says veterans didn't say anything about veterans. So to me, it is a big problem. So, and the other thing I wanted to say is this whole political mess about going back to work in the Republican states is because the Republicans don't want to look bad on this election. And two is they don't want people to be on unemployment. So because they're on unemployment, they want to get people back to work and say, well, this is just, it's not good. But the truth is, they need to coordinate properly, and they're not. So they're trying to force people to go back to work to make the big businesses look good and to make the commander-in-chief look good. I heard some people with Direct Express that have no kids and a dependent got their 1,200, but well, yeah, they did. Clydell. Like I said many times over, anyone who got Direct Express and pay and works part time and gets their benefits on Direct Express that got their benefits April 8th, 15th, or tomorrow that filed taxes will get their benefits tomorrow. Anyone that's a non-filer has to wait till May 1st or May 3rd, May 13th, 20th, or 27th. You know, Clydell, Nelfie said the same thing over and over too. So, you just got to be patient. I mean, there's a lot of people hurting, but, the thing is the government, as Nelfie said, in her opinion, thinks that because we get monthly benefits and we balance properly, we're not hurting that bad. So, frankly, we don't need the money that bad. What's Nate saying? The globalist agenda is that we're most vulnerable when we cannot come together as people in person. This whole quarantine isolation experience is designed to help minimize human distancing. Can we speak out on that? Globalist agenda is no. Well, yeah, they're basically what's happening is okay. So as you all know, the virus locked down a second wave of China because people that got the virus the first time are not getting the virus the second time. Other countries are minimizing it and doing what they can to keep the virus down until everyone around the world has peaked, and then they want to slowly open up business. But in the meantime, other countries aren't worried about elections right now. They're worried about the citizens. Our country, our politicians, the ones that don't care, are worried about big businesses losing their factories and stuff because no one's working. And two, is the unemployment rate's going through the roof, worse than the 1929 crash. And so everyone is social distancing, using the internet, and staying home. And, the media is complete, and they're saying the media is wrong. This isn't bad, so open up business. The thing is, without proper testing equipment, 86% of Americans that they polled don't feel comfortable going to work or going out unless they have to. I mean, let me ask you, Nate. Let me ask you, everyone here watching me. Do you honestly, in post comments, feel safe going out right now with this virus going around? Normalize, not minimize. I mean, the thing is the normal thing is like I said, I don't feel safe going to a mall or to a grocery store if they're going to poke and prod me to see if I have this virus. As everyone knows, I'm going to be, in a few years, I will be 50 years old. You think I really want to jeopardize my health going off island to go get groceries at another store? No. If I can get groceries brought in by Amazon or Target or Walmart, I'll do that. A lot of people will. That's why the grocery sector on these websites are sold out. Walmart, Target, Amazon, Google Shopping, all these places. Some of the scalpers are scalping $100 for 24 rolls of TP, or $200 for 3 boxes of mac and cheese, or $400 for a case of ramen. They're trying to scalp you, thinking you're stupid enough that you'll need this stuff. They're trying to make a quick buck by draining your benefit checks. That's why these scalpers sucked up all the Nintendo Switches. My best bet for you all is don't buy a Switch right now. Wait till Nintendo can mass produce more of them and send them out when they can send them out, like late summer, early fall, because you'll get them then. If you're not in a big hurry to play Animal Crossing, or if you don't, you don't want to pay scalpers, because scalpers are sucking up everything to try to make a profit because they think you, the Americans, are stupid and you, the Americans, are vulnerable. If you just wait patiently, you can get the products you need without dealing with scalpers. It's nothing in Walmart. They buy everything. Yeah, but right now Walmart's running out of stuff too, Clydell, because look at it. As I said, if they're giving away fuel or paying people to take fuel off their hand, oil off their hands, to refine it, and the refineries can't because all the fuel tanks that they store fuel is full. No one's buying gasoline. Semi-trucks aren't moving that much except for groceries. Amazon, DHL, FedEx, UPS, they're only shipping stuff that even certain planes are only like, certain cargo planes, like airline companies, like American stuff. The only reason they bailed out the airlines is because the airlines do provide a service, even if they're not moving passengers, and that is the U.S. mail. So the mail service is working right now, but those are the only ones using the fuel. You don't see trains moving cargo containers much right now. I have a friend that lives right on a train line where I used to live. Nothing is being moved. Not even airplane fuselages are being moved from one part of the country to Boeing. Nothing is moving. Everything is moving or at a grinding halt. If trains aren't moving and cargo ships aren't coming in, and cargo ships use something called bunker fuel, but the bunker fuel is completely filled up, and that's not moving, and automobiles aren't moving. I live on the water. The whale watching tourist boats aren't moving in and out to do tourism. They're basically full. Their tanks are full. The yachts aren't moving, and so they say automobile dealerships. It's auto industry is trying to make deals for your stimulus check because they're hurting, and so they're trying to get people to be stupid to finance cars even if they don't have a job. Don't do anything. Just sit back and use what you have to. People that ran out of jobs right now, that are out of work, that can't make their car payments, they might get their cars repossessed. And an entire lot of repossessed cars are going to be sitting around because of it. It's a big conundrum. There's people out there thinking that you're a fool, that they can part with your stimulus check by you being desperate for a switch, or being desperate to buy a new car, or be desperate for this or that. The economy is tanked and it ain't coming back. And because of it, people need to realize that unless, this virus is peaked, they have a treatment or a vaccine, your best bet, as the Post said, is to stay indoors and maintain social distancing, utilize Skype, utilize other services to talk to your family, stream videos and movies and stuff, because we're in it for the long haul. I feel safer from the disease if I take proper help. We all do. I mean, Nate, the thing is if you ever heard about Chloe, right? Chloe goes shopping for me. I give her my debit card, and she goes shopping. And, I tell her, pick up the milk. Go to the fish market. Pick up some fish. Go to the farmer's market. They're reopening. Follow the social distancing, Chloe, and get our produce. Here's my debit card. She buys her stuff. Thing is, this is what we have to do to survive. For my safety, I send Chloe to do it. She's younger than me. She's 10 years younger than me, so, she can do things. She walks the dog, and if I do go to the farmer's market or the fish market, I'm going to take my time around town because I'm smoking a cigar, And so, but yeah, we all have to. But the government has to basically give precautions, and the government's task forces have to basically keep people updated, because unless they get a cure or a treatment plan, we don't want this to spread like wildfire and end up having more than the current people passing away, or more of this spreading. And if it spreads, I mean, look, Sweden basically did certain things, and they're like 20 times the numbers right now of infected. China's getting reinfected. Other places are getting reinfected. We have to look at other countries to say, look, other countries have stated we're not ready to open businesses. But this is a political stunt. The commander-in-chiefs have nothing to worry about. If he gets business up and running and this infects everyone, he has nothing to lose. He'll just blame the governors. And if this does work, he has nothing to lose. It's 50-50. It's a coin toss. And I don't eat as much as you do normally. I actually eat one meal a day on her Tuesday because, it's hard to eat. And so what I do is I keep candy around when my sugar level goes lower, a Pepsi or Diet Pepsi, or not Pepsi, a Cherry Pepsi, or I keep jerky chew on hand. I keep peanut butter on hand. I keep bread on hand for sandwiches. But like I said, a lot of people are now worried about cold cut sandwiches because, meat processing plants, people are getting viruses while they're cutting sandwich meat. They're cutting sausages and brats and pork products and bacon. And some places are saying steak packaging plants are now getting out of hand with this virus. So to me, like I said to you all earlier, how can we trust our meat to be safe? They say, oh, well, by the time it gets to us, the virus is dead because it's traveling from extreme heats to extreme cold. Most meats travel in a refrigerated truck or frozen truck. So the meat's frozen. So we don't know if the meat has the virus in it, and then you put it into the oven, and the virus supersedes and multiplies while it's in the oven cooking at 350 or 400 degrees. We don't know. No one has any reason or answers to why this virus spreads, whether it's heat, whether it's cold, whether it's whatever, Well, yeah, it's called jerky chew. Basically, Jack Link comes out with a jerky chew that comes in like a can of dip. And it's basically finely shredded jerky. And I pay $30 for 36 cans. And I got to get a resupply. This is sometimes my dinner when, I do up the dishes and everything else. And me and Chloe, we sometimes have problems, so I just get a can like this or 2 cans, and that's my dinner at the jerky chew. Comes in a little can like this. I buy 5-pound bulk of candy, Skittles, M&Ms, Now Laters, Jolly Ranchers, Mambas. People say, it's good to keep candy on there. Hey, come here. You want to say hello to the audience? Huh? You want to say hello to the audience? This is my service dog for some of you. His name's Moppy. He's always asking for some jerky chew. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Moppy. Right now, I'm interested in Hoffenpfeffer, but Mommy won't give me any Hoffenpfeffer. Yeah. What's wrong, huh? What's wrong, huh? This is my service dog. His name's Moppy. The Direct Express update will probably be coming in tomorrow, Clydell, at 9 a.m. is what I've been told by Direct Express Eastern Time. They will update their website. They will update their phone service. They will probably give a statement. They're trying to work on veterans benefits, so veterans get paid too, but they're also waiting for confirmation on more information. Now, for some people out there, people say, well, why can't Direct Express give it now? Well, as Nelfie said, and I've checked this many times over, Nelfie's right, Direct Express has a contract, okay, with the government, the Treasury. They have to charge the Treasury Department more, another payment goes out. The problem is, with the confusion is, if the people that filed the taxes got their benefits the 8th, the 15th, and 22nd, and their second payments went in at the same time as their benefits, even if they're working and they filed, the problem is one set of payments are going from the SSA administration, the other to the IRS. So they're still getting double charged. Fortunately, they want to make one giant payment all at once through the Treasury so they don't get charged more. So they're under contract. So that's why they're delaying everyone. And, my theory already, Clydell, is we might all end up with paper checks anyways. No one knows. We just have to wait and see. Whereas, they're saying that end of April is what the media is saying. The newspapers posted. If you remember, I did updates in the past where it said we're going to get paid in end of April. Now the new updates is, and the play on words is, your payments are coming soon. They're not giving a timeline for the Direct Express or the direct deposit. Now, the direct deposits can go in at any time because it's not going through Direct Express, so it's easier to send. And the second thing is paper checks are coming. They've given dates for paper checks, but they've never given dates for Direct Express or the rest of the deposits. Now, if it's going to a bank account, as I said to you all that if it's going by bank account and they're doing 2 payments, then they can trickle in your payment on the 22nd and give your stimulus check at the same time. Other people that don't have benefits can still trickle into the end of the month for direct deposit because some banks are still holding on to it or whatever. Some banks don't trust the IRS because they think the money's useless, so they're holding on to it till they can confirm it's whatever. Now, for us, the old thing was end of April, early May. Now, the only one that's been confirmed for early May was right now by the new media sources coming out today is SSI. Now, what they're not telling you is anyone who gets SSI benefits that's non-filers, that's the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month, we'll get payments the 13th, the 20th, or the 27th of May. They're not telling anyone that, but that's what Direct Express and Social Security's told me. So, they're gonna try to update everything on tomorrow because it's getting to the point where all the last payments go out. That just leaves the rest of the direct deposit and paper checks to go out for people that are filed taxes, and then the non-filers, they're going to update that as well, from what I understand. So we all have to wait. Don't do that to me. I don't have none on hand. Don't do what? My jerky? I mean, literally, I keep all this on hand for my low sugar, Nate. That's all. I like jerky, and I like my jerky too. So on that aspect, but that's just that. So for the rest of you out there, that's what I wanted to say. Clydell, that's your update. When it comes to the Social Security debacle. Right now, to me. Again, I will say it and take it with a grain of salt. I don't trust the media because the media is not giving actual dates. I trust Social Security and I trust Nelfy's and Nelfy's and Social Security and Direct Express's info over the government saying, like some people said, like Rick said, you'll get your money when you get it, So you mean to tell me that we ain't got nothing until next month at the end of next month? That's what Social Security and Direct Express is telling me, Raspberry. So unless you are a filer on taxes and you filed and did everything by the book, your payment will go out if you're getting benefits on the 22nd. Otherwise, we're all in the same boat together because they think that we can survive because we get benefits already, we're not hurting it so much as others. But what about the people that are hurting worse than us? They're not getting their money. They got to wait for a paper check or a deposit to come in. I saw a poll from someone else that said that less than 9% of people got their stimulus out of 20,000 polled. 9% got their stimulus. Everyone else is saying, where's our money? And so, to me, it doesn't make sense, What is this? President's unprecedented or something, So does anyone, so that's what I'm trying to tell you, Raspberry. Even Nelfy has tried to tell you this many times over, but people don't listen or open their So, President did a temporary suspension. Yeah, that's it. Congress meets, stock market's skid. Yep, there you go. Is this a first edition for today? So the second edition hasn't come out yet for the night edition of the paper. So, but yeah, there's what I'm trying to explain. Perhaps minds are just all over the place about the money. Well, actually, that's true on her Tuesday. I did a rant yesterday before my video was taken down temporarily where I was basically expressing my heartfelt concern that the people who want this money so bad, some of them are hurting, literally, and they need that money, which is where my compassion is for the people. Other people just want it so they can go spend it foolishly. They're not thinking about their next meal or where their bills come from or the unemployment rate. That's what I was venting yesterday, was the fact that they want to go out, and some people say buying a new TV or a new computer, or I'm going to load up on booze or whatever. And that kind of literally upset me to no end, because frankly, if you're hurting, do you think people should be investing in alcohol or video games or whatever, a new TV? No, they're actually upset to the point that, they want this money to go shopping. And yet, as Congress said last night in the Washington Post, this money is used for food. That's why they're trying to put in a block that private debt collectors can't go in and take your money on. Now, Direct Express is completely protected. The Direct Express card is protected. They can't get into it. So that's one of the benefits. But regular bank accounts are a different story. But, Congress stated this money is used for food. And if people don't go and stockpile food because Congress is saying use it for food, because we don't know when other states are going to open up, because other states know this hasn't plateaued completely and it hasn't peaked. And the World Health Organization is saying we haven't seen the worst of this yet. Then you should basically take the Congress people and the Wall Street Journals, or not the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post's advice: buy food. Going out and buying things. There's people that lost their job. I want to share this with you. It's in the Washington Post. Lost their jobs. Some of them have high blood pressure, heart disease, bipolar, schizophrenic. They can't get their meds refunded. They don't have a job. They don't have Social Security. They lost their health insurance and they can't get their money. So they're trying to apply for Medicaid. And yet Medicaid is basically taking a while because everyone is calling the welfare office for food stamps, Medicaid, unemployment. So some people I saw a month later still waiting to get through to the offices to get payments. I was on the phone earlier last month for research on my measly $16 in food stamps. And I had to wait. Was disconnected 2 hours. Finally, I got through after day 3 at 3 hours. And so you can tell that it's just basically problematic. Plus, the government had set up plans in our state for people to work at home and work on a home computer to answer the phone calls because the offices were closed. So the offices were closed, so you do the math, Clydell. Well, yeah, but like I said, Clydell, remember what we both said, me and Nelfie, and even you said it, and others, that unless there's a pending transaction, we're not going to get paid tomorrow, that stimulus. It also stated, and I quote, that unless the government is dropping checks in at 10 p.m. Pacific time tonight, bypassing the pending notification and just dropping it into our accounts, we're not going to be seeing any money tomorrow at the 22nd. I will be checking my account tomorrow as well, but I will be checking it tonight at 10 p.m. In approximately 6 hours and 10 minutes, I will be checking Direct Express just to see if they bypass the pending, but I doubt it. There's other people out there that make a living making YouTube vids that people are clicking on, and they're stating that they have no actual dates either. The problem is because they're saying just wait for your payment. The problem is no one has concrete numbers. The IRS is the newspaper said early May for SSI, but when people bring up SSDI retirement survivors, they're like, sometime in the future, or those people get paid soon. So those are the play on words currently. Let's see. I'm new to your channel, and I wanted to thank you for all the information you give me. Well, thank you, Dark Joker. I do apologize. My video is long. I try to be professional and answer the questions as they come out in the comments. So people have been complaining, your video is too long. Well, that's because I'm answering all the comments, and a lot of people like to hang out because they're stuck indoors. And, I'm trying to explain things and also talk about a little bit about the economy and, etc. I hope my information was beneficial, Dark Joker, if you're interested in the Nintendo Switch, because they're sold out. They're sold out in this country and around the world till late summer, early fall. So when Nintendo brings out more, the scalpers apparently are scalping, thinking that they can part with your stimulus check. Instead of paying $200 for a Switch Lite, you might be paying $500 for a Switch Lite, or like $700 for a regular Switch. So if I were you, I would not take your money and buy a Switch right now. They're just trying to part you with your money because they think you're a fool and their money. Now, like I said, Clydell, if there's nothing pending on Direct Express, we're not going to see anything, like I said, unless they bypass the Treasuries. The Treasury bypasses the pending and this dumps it in tonight. Then we'll all be lucky. But right now, as it seems, I will be checking tonight, and then I will be checking tomorrow before I do my next update tomorrow for my 22nd video. Let people know again that more likely no one's going to get paid till May 1st, May 3rd, May 13th, May 20th, or May 27th, because the filers are going to get their money all the way up to almost the end of the month, even trickle down, and everyone else gets to wait till next month. It's like everyone has said, be patient and wait. And so because of it, people are basically like, now these people making a living on YouTube are basically stating, just be patient. They're not throwing dates out there anymore. They're saying, be patient. I mean, I focus on Direct Express, and as I said, they're going to update their site. If they're completely honest with us, it'll be updated tomorrow. And when it is, they'll give information probably on SSI, SSDI, retirement survivors, and VA. Otherwise, you get to wait like everyone else. By the way, I have a question. Does anyone know that people that file IRS taxes, for the IRS, does the military that works, that has a job in the military, do they have to file taxes, or are they tax exempt because they're in the military? That's always something I've been curious about, Maybe someone has the answer on that. So people's minds are just all over the place about it. Well, like I said on our Tuesday, again, they just want the money for spending. And right now, this is not the time to spend when you look at the media, like the Washington Post, that's saying, hold on to every dime because. Now, as you all heard probably earlier, and I want to make a correction, I sent Chloe out to get milk. Now, I use milk in my coffee and baking and stuff, so milk's a necessity. Now, steaks and shrimp isn't, but we're trying to make tacos, burritos, and fajitas, so we're going to need those ingredients. So that's why I sent her to get those. So, but, right now we're all okay, waiting for this funds, And so, like I said, and I also said, look for your watch the media. If you're not a subscriber and you have a Kindle, I highly recommend getting, a Kindle Fire HD. Check out the Washington Post deal, $1 for 4 weeks, and then it's like $4 a week after that. I got a good deal locked in till October, and I'm telling you, I'm truly loving the Washington Post. It's giving me more information than the digital-only Seattle Times. I mean, literally, I go to various newspaper sites, but I found the Post to be the most influential paper in my time right now because it's actually answering the questions that no other papers are getting. Other papers are like, you're doing this. The Post is the first to report last night, again, that the IRS portal's not going to accept new direct deposit information, and they're cutting off the dates for anyone who wants to claim their dependents 17 or under. They're turning that off tomorrow at noon. So once that's done, they're going to go ahead and start cutting checks. So you'll get your $1,200, but you won't get your dependents. And like On her Tuesday asked, will her daughter get $1,200? It would be nice. If she does get $1,200, please let me know. Then I have some answers to give other people that have, that like were people in your situation so they know. Now, if I get 2 checks, I'll let you all know because it's going to be the most interesting thing if I get 2 checks. I know it's not going to happen. The government's not that generous, but you know, I've had a lot of elderly say, "Oh, am I survivors and retirement? Do I get 2 checks?" Honestly, I don't know, but honestly, you take my words for a grain of salt. I don't think the government will be that generous. That's my answer. Now, if we got 2 checks, that would be interesting. That would be totally interesting. So if I ended up with $2,400, I'm going off island every day to go get groceries on another island just to get groceries. So I'll be supporting that grocery chain. So otherwise, we're all going to get 1 check. We're not going to get 2. We're going to get 1. Now, in my opinion, if direct deposit is going for on her Tuesday, her daughter, then I would think that she would get $1,200 too. But because she's probably under 17, I would assume $500. Now, you tried to file for $500 and you have Direct Express or whatever. The government knows who has what and when. I don't know why they're trying to force people to use the portal, literally. So right, Lowell. But yeah, everyone is hoping and praying that we get paid tomorrow. Like I said, unless the IRS bypasses the pending thing and just plunks it in, Direct Express has no info. That's what's really scary. They don't have any info. You call Direct Express up, as Clydell knows, and others. There is no information. They're just like, we have no information of the economic impact stimulus payment at this time. And that's it. And then you go and put in your card info and your PIN number, and all of a sudden it says, hold up, you call me a girl. No, I on her Tuesday, I said, well, I'm sorry, I don't mean to misgender. It says on her Tuesday, so I assumed a girl or your daughter, or I apologize. I don't mean to misgender anyone. I'll be right back. I just got to use the bathroom. I don't mean to misgender anyone. I apologize. I hate misgendering people. I hate it. All right, sorry about that. So basically, like I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to misgender anyone. Okay, I don't like being misgendered myself. I get people that say I'm a fat slob, and sometimes I wear a shirt that shows my belly. And to me, it's just comfortable wearing those type of clothes. So, but anyways, the update is like, there was like several updates rolled into one, and it's going to be interesting, Whatever happened to Nelfie? Did she actually disappear again? Or, that's something that's interesting. She's awesome to hang out with. So, I'm just wondering what happened to Nelfie. Oh, well. So basically, Nelfie is completely right. So is her aunt. It's May 1st. People keep asking again, where is my payment? And I keep answering the same question on a daily basis where it gets kind of tiring, because people keep asking that question. UPS is sending me something. What, I get a package? Woohoo, I get a package. Nope, it's a webinar. Dang it. I like when UPS sends me something. Usually it's like you got a package coming in and someone's sending you a gift and you're like, that's a webinar. I'm like, I don't want a webinar. But yeah, anyway, so basically, like I said, what's going on is the thing is we just got to wait till May 1st, and if people keep throwing the Facebook me and Dad were talking, I said, father-in-law last night, I was talking about the Facebook prophecies. These false prophets are throwing it out. We're getting paid tomorrow. I mean, I'm kind of getting impressed with these people that are doing updates about stimulus checks and what's going on in the news and when the new businesses are going to get more business money. And I'm starting to like how these people are just saying the same thing, be patient. People aren't getting paid, and it's complicated. People are like, oh, we're going to pay tomorrow. I know it. It's Wednesday. If we're going to get paid tomorrow, it would be pending unless I said they are going to drop it right into the card. Literally. Literally, I would figure the Treasury has a computer program that can run 24/7. It can drop in deposits at any given time. That's one of the reasons why half the time, honestly, I check my Direct Express card throughout the day, even when I'm doing these videos, because it could be popped in at any given time. So, that's why I said, people say, oh, well, it could come at any time. It could, but do you think we're going to have something that's pending? No. And when I check Direct Express, I always check the lower part under account history. I'm in the Direct Express right now. In the account history to see if there's anything pending. It would be on the bottom being like, it would say total charges, credits, deposits, and it would show it changing. Instead, there's nothing changing. So right now, there's nothing. My account's under $20. So Amazon Prime was taken out yesterday. So I went down $6. But you know what? Yeah, I do. It's like Nelfie said it herself, and I've said it today, if you were paying attention, Nate, that the government basically, 8 states want to open up tomorrow or early next week. There's no vaccine. There's no treatment plan, as my father-in-law said. So how are you going to contain a virus if everyone goes back to work? The best course of action that has the 42 states that don't want to reopen because the governors are in charge there, close up the borders, okay? The problem is they're prematurely opening for another reason. And that is there's not that any vaccines. They don't have reagents. They don't have the testing equipment to test. They have the equipment to test it, but they don't have the ingredients to use to get these tests out. They need to test between, they're saying about the working class, if they got everyone working currently, would be about 205 million tests a day. And then they would have to test daily for a long time, which means you're looking at about 300, let's just say 340 to 360 million tests a day, children included. So if you test every day, do the math for 30 days. We don't have the testing equipment for it. We would have to have factories willing to manufacture fast enough to keep people at work until, people get the right testing equipment and enough testing equipment for each state. Remember, the commander-in-chief said it's up to the states to get the testing equipment. That means these states are, the governors of states are doing everything they can. They're basically calling manufacturers. They're trying to make deals, wheel and deal. They're trying to get people to make deals so the states can buy on their own budget the testing equipment to get their people back to work and to test to make sure that these viruses go down. But if they don't have the testing equipment, how do they get it done? They don't. So the best course of action is extend the deadlines. Like our state's May 4th, they're going to extend it. I guarantee it. Other states are going to extend it too. The Post already said this. 42 states said that they're not ready to reopen. They're looking at options, but they won't reopen. While they're not reopen, and small businesses are taking a dump. Remember what I said the other day. Small businesses gets their loans to keep their businesses open. The Paycheck Protection Program, right? The PPP and others. It's putting a Band-Aid on the problem. Picture this. President wants to open up. 8 states are willing to open up. But if it blows up in their face, the virus spreads. The other states go along and close up the borders, whether it be barbed wire fence, hypothetically, for miles, which that costs money, tanks, National Guard, whatever, to keep people out, state patrol, whatever, right? They'll do whatever to keep everyone out of their states because they're trying to contain this. Meanwhile, these other 8 states say, oh, nothing's wrong, people can go back to work, thing blows up in their face, right? Meanwhile, like I said, it doesn't affect the president one way or another. He's trying to get business restarted because this is an election year. Every other state knows this is about politics. This isn't about lives. This is about politics. What happens? Basically, a lot of people don't feel safe because there is no cure and there's no treatment plan. So if you keep the government closed, the government turns around. The other thing is if these small loans give, right, and they get it through, right, say till September or something, they can make deals and keep open the business closed till September, hypothetically, right? Then when the time comes, let's just say everyone in the small business, 230,000 businesses get small loans. And then other big businesses are failing. Government comes in and says, we're here to bail them out again. So they start bailing out airlines again and cruise liners, or for example, or whatever, right? They keep bailing people out. What happens? They're putting more money on a Band-Aid because, as Don Capo said, we're going to be probably stuck indoors for about 18 months till a cure comes up. But if this virus keeps mutating, they're going to have to extend it longer and longer because we're indoors. People aren't going to be feeling safe to go out until this is completely contained. So putting more money into small businesses, when the small businesses, it's a Band-Aid, then they got to keep doing it over and over until a cure happens. Meanwhile, let's picture this, Nate. Before I continue, let's see what Nate says. So then, do you believe it may be on purpose so they can thin out population? No, it's not about the population. Most people know lives are sacred. What it is they're trying to cripple or crunch the economy to absolve the world's debt of $253 trillion worldwide. Since 1945, businesses in every world country has accumulated a debt total of $253 trillion. They wipe it out with the new currency. The new currency will be the better currency. Fortunately, the problem is with unemployment rate and people not feeling safe going to work, the entire country goes, and what happens? No one's working. No products moving in and out except food. Everything else is luxury items. I mean, the economy is taking a nosedive, and opening soon is just basically adding fuel to the fire to spread out the virus. Now, if they want to basically do it, let's picture this, okay? Let's just say hypothetically, Nate, you said, oh, do they want to weed out people? Hypothetically, if they wanted to weed out people, kill people, maybe that's why they're basically delaying people's Social Security checks. Let's hope they get the virus and they go hungry or they die or whatever, right? The other problem is if they're trying to weed them out, what if hypothetically that when it comes to weeding them out, that they go and try to weed them out, right? What happens if the elderly, rich fuddy-duddies instead pass on? The wealthy pass on, and there's no one to get all the wealthy pass on. And then let's just say the wealthy passes on. Then the middle class. And this thing spreads. And only the poorest survive because, well, a lot of them are disabled and in their apartments or homes. Then what? You see what I'm saying? Basically, it will just, they could do that, but it could all blow up in everyone's face, and the people that they want to thin out might survive, and everyone else might be the ones going bye-bye. So a lot of people are concerned, so they're staying indoors, and that's the main thing. And because of this topic, I think, because of what Nate asked, the viewers went down to 2. So we don't have many viewers right now. Because this is a dreary topic, between the economy and Social Security and all this stuff, the topic went sour with no one watching. A minute ago, we had 12 people. Now we're down to 2 people. So unless the internet's bogging down with them, a lot of them got tired of the topic. So, because, I've been trying to answer, everyone's question of Social Security, when will they get their money? No one knows. Let's see what Nate says. I try not to be so paranoid, but it's a part of my, well, we're all paranoid. I mean, I'm paranoid when it comes to when the checks are coming. Don't leave. You don't have to leave. I was just basically making a statement that I guess this is a a dark topic and people just don't want to sit in on it, so they're disappearing. Mostly this was the topic of Social Security, and but you don't have to leave. No one can leave. I'm trying to be professional. It's been kind of funny too that when we got into this topic, Nate, things just went down the toilet. Does anyone have any questions? Does any of the viewers have any questions? I'm willing to answer questions. Like, what am I having for dinner? Ha ha! Or anything about Social Security, disability, retirement. I mean, I'm here to answer your questions. But don't worry if you ask questions, Nate. You can ask any questions. I'm an open book. I was just making a joke that we had 12 people and then it went down to, well, now we have 4, but maybe it's YouTube too. I mean, maybe YouTube's acting up. No one knows. So maybe it's me doing tobacco. Or I can always see if we can get viewers by pulling out the bun bun. Everyone likes the little bunny. He's so adorable. He's a little bun bun. He's so cute and he's so adorable. And I'm gonna name him. Remember in Looney Tunes? I want the rabbit. I'm gonna name him Ralph, and I'm gonna pet him and play with him and take care of him. I'm gonna name him Ralph. Oh, but my bunny's name's Ebony. He's just so adorable. And my dog, he's by the door, I think, waiting for Chloe to get back. Oh, you know what? The other day, was it you, Nate, that said something about it's BS? My channel keeps getting flagged. Roberto Carlos, when will Direct Express take their stimulus payment? Yes, I knew that was coming up again. Oh, welcome, Roberta. Is it Roberto or Roberto? Roberto. So it's not Roberta. So I don't want to misgender you. I misgendered a young lady earlier today. Sorry, a young man, I believe it was. I don't like misgender. So, okay. Direct Express, if you are a filer, payments go out the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd, which means if you work part-time and you get SSI or retirement benefits, you will get your benefits April 8th, 15th, or 22nd. Now, if you are a filer and you're not on Direct Express, those checks will trickle out the 11th onward throughout the month. Now, Social Security and Direct Express has confirmed that payments for anyone else that gets benefits will be going out early May for SSI or late April for SSDI. But right now, late April is different thing. What'd you get?
The milk for the meat place is not open.
Oh, okay. So the fish market's closed. All right, thank you. I'll just put this in the. Yeah, well, you said you don't want to pay a huge amount of money. You don't need to, so Hey, we got Dirty Gold. Great, cool, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so basically, now here's where it gets complicated. SSI recipients are supposed to get it early May for people on May 1st or April 30th for May 1st, or April 30th for SSI. Now, SSDI is supposed to be going, SSI payments will be going out those dates, whereas SSDI, they first said end of April, now they said the play on words is we're going to be sending it soon, or it'll be going out in the near future. Okay. At first, they said everyone was going to get paid the week of the 13th. That didn't happen. The Secretary Mnuchin said everyone will get their paid within 2 weeks. It's already 4 weeks since the law has passed and money hasn't been popped in there. So what's that mean? Everyone else that's a non-filer that gets their Social Security retirement or SSI benefits on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th Wednesday will get theirs April 13th, May 13th, May 20th, or May 27th. Otherwise, if you're on direct deposit and you want your stimulus payment, it will hit on the day of your pay date. So if you get it May 1st on SSI, you're going to get it May 1st. If you get it April 30th, you'll get it April 30th. If you get your payment May 3rd, you'll get your payment on May 1st with your main payment. Direct Express has a contract, which means the government's not going to be paying additional money, so they're trying to dump all the payments in at once. But Direct Express will be updating their website and their phone service. From what I have from supervisors, Direct Express tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Pacific time or 9 a.m. Eastern time. They're 3 hours ahead, so I'm just giving the same time zone, time frame. They're just 3 hours ahead. So basically, it's the same time, just different zones. That's when you're going to get more updated information. So I hope that helps. Why do you keep retracting your messages, Nate? That's the thing I'm wondering about. Why, why? So I hope, Roberto, that answers your question. People always ask me all the time. They always ask, where's my money? How come it hasn't come? I have a couple theories. A, the government doesn't want to pay us, or B, they want to give us paper checks. And so far, also, just to let you know, the paper check schedule is already been published by USA Today, Forbes, CNBC, and others. So paper checks will be going out, hitting people's mailboxes on the 24th and the 1st, and it's going all the way to September 11th. So I hope literally that helps you. Oh, that's cool. Things. If you have any other questions, Roberto, feel free to ask. That's why my channel's here. I know the video has gone too long. Clydell. Clydell, can I ask you a question? Well, first, let me say what Clydell says. I was kind of confused because at first they were saying if you SSI and you don't have kids and you're a dependent, you will get the $1,200. Then I heard someone say that they won't pay you. SSI don't have no kids and you're a dependent. What you're saying is this: if you're on SSI and you live with someone else, and someone else files on taxes as a dependent, that even though you get SSI and someone that you're living with someone, a family member, and they claim you on your taxes, then you won't get money. Now, if at first they were saying that you had to file at the portal to get your SSI payment, then the AARP said no, so they dropped it and said anyone dependents on SSI disability, survivors, retirement, they don't have to do anything unless you have children. And so now they're saying if you have children, you need to claim them by tomorrow at noon. Otherwise, you don't get a payment for them. You'll get your $1,200, but you won't get a payment for them. What it is, Clydell, they're making it too complicated. The left hand ain't talking to the right. So, the media basically sucks it all up, puts it in reports, and people get confused, and, the media is doing this, and newspapers around the country are posting this, and people that run television stations that have news, the news, like nightly news, they're posting it now too, so people realize that if they don't file, they don't get money. It's the way it is. It's complicated, but it's the way it is. So all you got to do literally is just wait patiently. And don't believe everything you hear when it comes to these people, these YouTube or online prophets saying you get paid tomorrow. Now, like I said many times over, if no is KNOW, Clydell. Well, don't listen to these prophets, because unless it's pending, you're not going to get paid. Now, if it's not pending, then what's going to happen is it's going to possibly just be dumped in our account. We're all hoping it's dumped in tonight. We get a thing at 10 o'clock that it's been dumped. But as everyone knows, we're not holding our breath. People are holding their breath, and I'm hoping that, my information is false, but it isn't. I'm just living in faith and hope myself. So, well, it's okay if you get off subject. I get off subject too. I mean, I'm here to answer questions and to answer all questions. So if we get sidetracked on Nintendo Switches or, government policy, that's fine, because this video is here for anyone, Let's see, Roberta. So my SSID monthly payment will be together with my stimulus payment. My normal SSID, yeah, exactly. So there you go. Exactly, Roberto. basically, you're exactly right. Yeah, that's crystal clear. The question you asked is crystal clear. That's what it is. So your payment, for example, this month, May 1st, people with Direct Express, that means you'll get your payment dropped in the box April 30th at 10 p.m. Pacific time, which means you'll have your $1,200 stimulus check April 30th at 10 p.m. Pacific time or 1 a.m. Eastern time. May 1st, 1 a.m. Eastern time if you're in Eastern time. Plain and simple. That's when you're going to get paid. Anything before, people are just holding their breath. And, unless, and I will say this, unless the news media actually gets concrete evidence. I mean, they already gave the paper check dates, okay? They've given the SSI dates of early May. Everyone else was late April, but now they're saying our checks will come in the near future. So to me, I'm taking that as a grain of salt when they say our checks will come in the near future or whatever. Just go with the Social Security calendar. The Social Security calendar online says you get paid May 1st, so that's when they're doing it. We're Direct Express. Anyone that isn't on Direct Express can receive it at any given time. But a lot of people haven't seen it, They're basically trying to give it to people that file. So I think what they're trying to do, honestly, Clydell and Roberto, is to give it to the people that use the IRS portal. Anyone else? Tough. That's my gut feeling. They want to give us either paper or nothing at all. Or my third opinion, like I said many times over, is there's no money. So they're just like, yeah, no money. So that's what I think, but that's just my humble opinion. My humble opinion could be wrong, but the way I see things is they're not giving any clear answers to anything. They're skirting around the question. People fought for SSI, now people are trying to fight for VA, and then people are wanting to know more about disability, survivors, retirement. No one's getting any answers. They're still skirting around the question. Any other questions? Nate? Clydell? Roberto? SSIDA payments be raised in 21. Well, that's an answer I can answer to, Roberta, because I have some insight on that. The COLA won't be given until between September and October. So cost of living adjustment will go out between September and October. They do it every year. More likely they might or they might not. They might just pinch the ends off and say the economy, no one needs money because, or cost of living because inflation went down due to the fact that the economy is taking a dump. And therefore, we might not get a cost of living for a year or two because of the way the economy is working right now. Oh yeah, I did that yesterday and someone flagged my video, Nate. It was just basically a chit chat where anyone can ask about anything, and that's the thing, my main thing is to help people with Social Security, and if anyone has questions about the economy or something, I can answer that to my best of my knowledge, or well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Anyone can ask any questions on any video. The reason why these videos are going longer is because some of the topics have gotten off topic due to the fact that I talked about the economy or, the oil market failing or whatever, or, how this is affecting. See, on top of talking about Direct Express and stimulus checks in my channel, I'm also talking about that's adding to making it longer by talking about how it's affecting everyone. I mean, like I said earlier, as well as I do, even if it did, I basically complained to YouTube, and they actually within 3 minutes released the video anyway. So, but one of my videos, I actually gave source information of where I got the report, and it was from the Washington Post, and let's just say they just flagged it. They were just like, oh, But as long as I give the source information as I'm reading the article to you all and saying where it came from, people can look it up. I can even give a link. Thing is, they didn't like me giving links also in the chat box for links to like the Social Security calendar or where I'm getting my sources because it's live. So they didn't like people clicking on these links to go read the articles themselves about where their money is. It could be that the government doesn't want anyone to know when you're getting paid either. Again, they said it was flagged because of either copyrighted video or audio copyright infringement, or which there isn't, or the other one was flagged because of what's that word? It's in my email box though. It's like it restricted the video due to something else. I could look it up real quick. It was really stupid. It was like your video's been flagged because we think it violates YouTube policy. And the thing is, YouTube doesn't make anything on policies to why your video was flagged. It was like, saying that my video had, it wasn't directly at anyone, Some people were asking about transgender things. Other people were talking about something else. And, in the end, it was like, your video was removed from YouTube, violating a community guideline. So, because removed it because it violates the guidelines, and it flagged because it had inappropriate content. And the inappropriate content is where YouTube needs to explain why, what was inappropriate. That's the thing. They don't explain on their videos what is inappropriate. If I say, something like I don't condone violence, that's fine. But I don't condone, this or that or other, or, one of the things that people were talking about was in the comments at times was, things that happened, like, in the past, like, I was talking about how, things happen with like police brutality and stuff like that. And again, simple topics, that didn't violate anything. I was talking about what I've experienced in my life, and instead they flagged it saying it was inappropriate content. So it says, why is the IRS get my payment not working? Because frankly, again, I've answered this many times, Roberto. The IRS tool works for people that filed the taxes or filed. So if you have Direct Express, if you get Social Security benefits, SSI, survivor retirement, disability, it doesn't work. They basically aren't working. They're looking for people that work, that they can confirm you work, confirm your identity. Then they'll tell you where your payment is. They can probably, that's the thing. Why do you think I don't own a phone? Because I don't trust the camera and I don't trust the microphone. This, of course, has a camera, but this tablet's 5 years old, so the camera feature is pretty much disabled, and the microphone's pretty much disabled. So, I don't know. I don't know why they flagged it. Honestly, I'll never know. I've had videos in the last week flagged for whatever stupid reason, like the last 10 days. I mean, for all we know, they could be flagging because of the tobacco, or the fact that last night, Nate, I had a shot of rum. Maybe that's what it is, No, you're not flagging it, so don't worry about it. It's just someone flagged it, Maybe they flagged it because the video is too long and they're running out of data or bandwidth. They say, they can, but once I appealed it within 3 minutes, they're like, okay. Because my videos usually don't have any, thing that says, things that break the law or violate, whatever, Sometimes I always get upset and say, hey, I'm talking from my heart and soul, explaining things to people who's asking about questions, and instead they flag it. I'm like, look, freedom of speech, I guess They don't believe in the First Rights Amendment. Yeah. Why are they basically? No, because of you. How? Please explain. How is it being flagged because of you? You're not flagging these videos, are you? Or I mean, literally. That's the thing. You shouldn't be flagging. You know what I say, Nate? And I say, sometimes when I do my private vlogs, I get viewer, and I always think it's the government watching, so maybe the government flagged it for all we know. But who knows? I don't break the rules unless the government doesn't like me talking about rum or tobacco or, sometimes they flag videos if they think it violates, the terms of service if I'm showing my bunny or if I'm showing my service dog or I'm showing something else, or like someone asked me the other day, take my socks off, and, it was flagged because my socks were shown. So, honestly, no one knows who's flagging and why. So, I just appeal it. Instead of deleting the video, I appeal it and just leave it up. And if it gets 5,000 views, even if someone's watching for 7 hours, oh well, Well, you know what? We're all entitled to our own opinions, and I don't think videos should be flagged because of comments. Comments should be fine. Literally, if someone wants to ask a question, look, let me put it this way, Nate. So to reassure you, if YouTube's doing this, right, then they should be flagging all the videos about people talking about the New World Order coming, for example, or the flagging all videos of reviewers reviewing cigars or booze, or flagging videos that do gun reviews. I mean, all these topics, I'm just saying they should do all that. They're really that worried, that they should flag it. I mean, when I do cigar reviews, I usually tell that it's not for children. Turn it off, And for me, to me, I think that if they're going to do a video about how the economy, quote unquote, is going to crash and they're worried, then they shouldn't allow these videos to be made. Same goes with, if they want people to produce or give the information of the articles or the stories like the Post, and you do read an article and you do the Post like I did, they cut out my video because they don't want the Post talking about, for example, a 60-year-old computer program. Then there's a problem if the people don't, if you're a Post member or, you read it on the Seattle Times, they shouldn't be complaining and say, oh, I found this from the Seattle Times. It's fine. You're not plagiarizing. You're just reading the article and saying, there's people that get the same article, and I don't know how they have the software to produce it on their computer, but they show, oh, look, this is where it says this, this, and this. They don't get nailed. These are the people that make a living. It could be YouTube supports the ones that are making a living, and they don't support the ones not monetizing because ads. Or in fact, that my video is too long and they can't play ads while I'm doing the videos, I mean, no one knows if my live video, Nate, is actually playing ads in between certain time frame. No one knows. I mean, I don't know. Every video I watch doesn't have ads, but other videos I watch that people make, they have ads. So it could be a revenue thing. No one knows. I mean, literally, I have no clue why. And so it's a complicated issue. But I don't think it's you. It could be something like me pulling off my shirt and putting on a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or something and putting, or whatever, showing my belly. Someone's complaining that my shirt's too low and my tummy's showing here. I mean, I've seen videos where people are talking in topless with men topless, and those videos ain't flagged. So no one truly knows why things happen the way they do. This is. And so to me, I got to live with the fact that I just appeal it. I mean, I don't think it's about tobacco. I don't think it's about me drinking a shot of whiskey. I don't think it's a rum. I don't think it's about my bunny. It just doesn't make sense. If you basically give the information that you got, why flag the video, So that's how I see it. So anyways, does anyone else have any other questions? Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not going to let someone just say, "Oh, what did I call it? Um, it had inappropriate content." I mean, literally, that would basically say some kids watching and the mother finds out and flags it or something. I mean, I was thinking about putting everything that everyone has to admit, prove that they're 18 to watch my videos. I can set the channel to that, so I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not making money. It's just 18 or over. I can set it that way because, frankly, but children will get on their parents' tablets or computers to watch, and then it could be flagged again. And to me, it's would make sense. It's mostly for other. It could be that they don't want people talking about COPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. No, they just the normal email I get is your video. Someone flagged your video for inappropriate content. If you think this is an error or wrong, please appeal. So I appeal it every time. And usually within 3 minutes, the video is back because my video doesn't have any inappropriate content. It's not like I'm like some of these trans women that have 18 or over and they're showing off what breast implants look like or what man-made down below looks like. I mean, literally, they just don't, those are the 18 plus, but still, those are kind of inappropriate because you're not supposed to show those things. And if you do, they're supposed to black out the circles for whatever on the top and black out certain things so no one gets to see, normal. I mean, no one knows. I mean, literally, I just can't figure it out. I mean, it's and some people say it's jealousy. They're jealous because I got people that truly are worried about their checks. They want their money to survive, and they're not getting it. And then sometimes I go on a tangent or rant about how some people are giving false information on these sites or comments of the videos are being monetized. And to me, if they're basically thinking that's restricted content, me complaining about people monetizing on the grounds that they have to make a living, that's kind of stupid too, so I don't know, but yeah, honestly, I have no clue. So anyways, does anyone else have any other questions? Because eventually I'm going to have to go and put in a documentary I fell asleep on last night about JFK. And then I want to watch a documentary LBJ and Nixon. Because, like I said, I'm stuck indoors, so I might as well watch some documentaries eventually. And that's a good hobby I have. So, but yeah, if people want to flag this, well, there's nothing I can do. Especially if they can't. Yeah, well, exactly. They can't specify. They're just saying it's inappropriate content or inappropriate content. And what is inappropriate? They don't show on a website. They say, oh, if someone's talking about harming themselves or this or that or the other, or, they don't talk about. We were talking about mental illness, the other day, and they flagged it because we're talking about our own personal mental illness. It's like no one wants to hear about mental illness, or bipolar or borderline or whatever, or, it was flagged because of what happened in the past or whatever, So to me, well, yeah, I mean, I would love to chit chat for hours, but, the thing is, I also base it off of numbers, Nate, because honestly, everyone is fun, and honestly, I would love to chat all the time too. But when the chat runs out of gas because people come in and they ask. I did a chit chat video yesterday. People came in just to ask about Social Security, and it's like I have a video for that. Go look for it. Like today, this video wasn't supposed to be 3 hours, but we had people come in and ask about Social Security, and then other people were asking about Direct Express, and other people are asking non-check questions about when their check's coming. And I try to be professional and answer everyone, and so that's why the video gets too long. But my main reason today was to say no money on my card, nothing's pending, so it's May 1st. Like Nelfie said, and people are tiring me at times, asking the same question. So the videos get longer because I have to reiterate, because people want to know when their payments are and etc. But there's videos out there already, like Nelfie made one that's just direct to the point. You'll get paid May 1st. And people need to go and look for her video, because she's basically completely spot on. And that's what upsets me sometimes, because I have videos all right now. I'm focusing not on my own private blog, but mostly about Social Security and when people's stimulus is coming and why people are hurting, and hurting in the fact that they haven't got paid and they need their money. And people say, oh well, when are we getting it? So if I do a chit chat video, that's fine and dandy, I can do that. But the question is at times I do like to ask about if I do a video, that's why I say, always give suggestions of topics so I can actually talk. If it's going to be about the economy and jobless, or the virus and the economy and jobless, or whatever, I would like to have the topic made. So when I do a video to chat about it, or if I put in a video topic like something like 422, and then the subject is ask me anything, within reason, or ask this is about any questions that I can answer. I can do that, and it can be about any topics. So then people come in, and if they ask about Social Security, it's fine. If someone wants to talk about politics or religion, that's fine. Whatever. Well, I can always enjoy your movie. Oh, well, it's not a movie, literally. It's basically a documentary, and that's the thing is honestly, Nate, sometimes making these videos so long can drain me too, because I get kind of frustrated at the fact that the same questions are being asked, and it's like, when will we get videos where people, when will people watch my videos before going in and asking questions? Because the same questions are being asked. And like I said, Nelsie, she already made a video explaining, it's May 1st. And if people don't want to do it and they want to keep believing that it's tomorrow, then there's nothing I can do, literally. People, like one person said, they're not literally so honestly, they're people are hurting. They're literally hurting to no end, and it's sad. It's literally sad to no end. And you know, because they want answers now, but they don't want to go back to other people's videos to watch I mean, I could do a frequently asked questions thing. My only thing is with 3 people watching, and you're the only one asking questions, that other people should be asking questions too, or not just you, but others. I mean, I could do another video right after this one if you wish, Nate. It's just, I'm looking for some type of solid conversation or topic so I don't have I don't get drained, because these videos, are long, and it should be just about anything. So I can do one about chatting. That's fine. I can do it next. So if you stay tuned and give me a break, I could probably do another video about the topic. I mean, that's the thing. I need to have a topic, where I can focus. Where right now my mind's not focusing because no one's asking questions. As my father-in-law said, idle hands is not good. Well, who knows, right? So, well, that's how I see it. So I could do another video. It's just about just average chit chat. That's fine. You can ask anything. So maybe I'll do that. So for everyone else, look for my next video. Please add, subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions. Hit that like, subscribe button. It's also funding for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for a video about just general chit chat. So thank you, and God bless you and everything you do.